she didn't have to work.
Recording in progress.
Trying to get there. Trying to get there. That's all I have.
It's sad.
That's probably the only one.
Yeah, I bet they have. My niece and them, they got a new brown one too. They love that. But my niece and them, they got a nice one, but get some are cheap. I call the Halifax County Board of Supervisors meeting to order on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
I'd like to call the planning commission to order at this time also. And I would like for everybody to stand, and Mr. Wimbish, if you'll have that invitation.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we're so thankful that we can be here tonight, and you gave us safe passage here, and ask you for safe passage to our homes. May any decision made tonight by the planning commission and or the board of supervisors tonight or any other time be in the best interest of Halifax County, and that will make this county and work to make this county a better place to live. In Christ's sake we pray, amen.
And you remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is attendance. Board of Supervisors, roll call, please.
Supervisor Riddle.
Present.
Chair Roller.
Present.
Supervisor Oates.
Present.
Supervisor Witt.
Present.
Vice Chair Smart.
Present.
Supervisor Thompson.
Present.
Supervisor McDowell.
Here.
Supervisor Claiborne.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Could we have the planning commission attendance roll call?
Commissioner Hughes,
Present.
Chair Giles,
Present.
Commissioner Pierce,
Here.
Vice Chair Jennings, Commissioner Watts,
Present.
Commissioner Wimbish,
Here.
Commissioner Smith Mangum.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
The next item on the agenda is adoption of the agenda for the Board of Supervisors. Any additions that was being, okay? Okay, I'd be happy to entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
It has been properly moved by Supervisor Riddle and seconded by Vice Chair Smart to adopt the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
We'd also like to entertain a motion at this time for the planning commission to adopt their agenda.
Do we adopt the agenda?
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hughes and a second by Commissioner Watts to approve our agenda as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The agenda is adopted.
The first item on the agenda is a presentation by South Central Transportation Authority, Jay Ellington. And that's pages 7 through 18 in our package.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me this evening. It's great to be here with you with the board and the planning commission together. Because I want to talk to you about the future of this area and how this transportation authority may be able to help us move our area forward. If you'll notice as the slides come by, I'll get started here on that first slide, please.
You have the.
I got the clicker, right? Okay, thank you. This slide represents the three current transportation authorities on the eastern side of our state. And the orange area represents a consideration for the creation of a transportation authority for the south central region of the state as well. A better picture of it there. When I came over to Southside PDC and made my first presentation to them, Mr. Blade was there and said, well, is Halifax included in that or not? And at that point in time, our committee had not said we wanted Halifax included. So I went back and reworked our maps. So remember, the creation of an authority like this is done as an act of the legislature. So this is not something one group can do, you can do, I can do, or any of these PDCs can do. It would have to go through an act of the legislature. And you can see how our first piece of trying to make sure that we covered the primary transportation routes were the 85 and 95 corridor, the 58 corridor going across south area of the region, 360 and 460 that touch part of that region as well. So those were some of the primary things that we looked at when we were looking at putting this together. As I proposed this to the legislative side, they asked me to go out to all of the jurisdictions, talk about the creation of an authority, what it is, how it works, what would happen if you put an authority in place. So I'm out on the stint trying to get around to everybody. And so let me show you a little bit of, this was part of one of the pieces that we talked about in the conversation of looking at public transit and how this happened to be the Raleigh to Richmond line there, where you can see most of it's already funded on the North Carolina side and not funded on the Virginia side. This would be an example of a project that could help fund into the future. The primary purpose is it's a dedicated, stable funding stream for transportation in this region. I'll get to the division of revenues at the end here, but and you could use those monies to do local transportation projects in the county, or those monies could be used to help regional projects in the county, or I mentioned the public transportation piece as well. We've had in all of our regions and all of our counties monies coming in to the state that then get distributed back out through transportation through VDOT. And we've got 5 or 6 different programs: Smart Scale, Long Range Plan, this one and that one, that we've been able to get some money or get some projects for transportation done in our regions. Hadn't always been the best way. This allows the money to come that's generated in the region to come to an authority in that region that then says where we spend that money in the region. The economic development driving portion of it too is as we do need economic development and things do happen in our region, then we are able to meet that right turn lane or that extra road or that roundabout or some other way to make improvements that will encourage our transportation system to work better. Regional coordination. I'm up in the Crater region, so I'm dealing with 11 local jurisdictions up that way. Southside, as you know, has 3 primary counties as part of your jurisdictions and a couple of communities as well. So each one of these would have some basis of representation on the authority itself. So that local control, local representation of these monies is pretty important as we would take money out of the VDOT system, make determination about where those monies would go and what projects they would get spent on. I'm out doing this stump on out into July. Hopefully that at that point in time, I will have resolutions from many of the jurisdictions. If y'all do choose to join, I hope you'll pass a resolution. I did provide that to Ron as well. So for you to consider into the future. As I gather those local government's issues, answer all your questions, then we'll move that forward in the legislative process in the end of the summer, early part of the fall, and then into the General Assembly, of course, in January of next year. And the earliest Transportation Authority that could go into place would be July of next year. Here's how the authority works. We'll have a board of directors, so you as the county would put a member on the authority. And it would have, then the next piece of that is the physical entity. We would have to choose one of our local government entities to be the physical entity for the authority. Means the money would transfer from the Commonwealth to the physical entity and then to Crater Planning, which is listed as our transportation operators. That's where, since we were the ones who came up with the idea, brought it forward, then we had set out some funds to be the administrator over the authority as well. Again, funded by tax dollars. So the 9.8 cents for gasoline and diesel fuel, those are the wholesale taxes on those fuels. That money generated in your area. And I don't know, did we have the slide for the financial piece?
Very last slide.
If not, let me look at my chart real quick. Halifax County would generate, and I have gallons of fuel, all of that, in total revenues over $2 million in the fuel tax area. Now that money's now going to VDOT, and you're getting in line with VDOT to fund projects or to even hopefully get projects. If you've been in Halifax County, like many of the counties across the region, we've been slow to get any projects through that system. Very slow. If we get them, I told somebody the other day for 2 of my jurisdictions up in the Crater region, I have had projects in there for 20 or 25 years that are still on that list, hopefully trying to fund them. This gives us a mechanism to do that. We're taking money out of the state system, making the decisions at the regional level, and funding projects, matching projects, moving projects forward. This consists of a sales and use tax also. Many of you know the state taxes. This is at 6.3 cents. This is the other 7/10 of 1 cent. That's $7 on every $1,000 that you'd spend. So that is a part of it. So that's an additional tax or tax consideration. The gasoline and diesel taxes are already in place. Dividing the funds would be 55% to local jurisdictions, so we would send an additional $2.7 million to Halifax County to do what you wanted to do with for transportation here. That's create a four-way stop sign, create a right turn lane, create a roundabout in an area where you got high traffic, make sure the school zones are properly taken care of. Whatever it might be, that would be your money to do that with. Then the next piece is 35% would go to, of that pot would go to regional projects. So, and then the authority would decide as a whole, all the members, how that money got spent. And the last piece is the 10% would go to public transit, and that would be decided by the transportation systems either in place or future transportation systems that would benefit the greatest benefit of the general public. So let me finish out here for you. Again, improved quality of life, enhanced economic opportunities, seamless regional connectivity. We would have the ability to do something as a, I think I've counted now, we're with the 3, 4, 5, 10, about 15 jurisdictions coming together and saying, we want to improve our transportation in this area. We are a transportation hub for Virginia. We've been that from day one, where our rivers started that process for us, then the railroads, then the highways. So we've been a transportation area for all the way across South Central region. With that, I'll finish and let y'all ask me any questions you may have. So I'll be moving forward into those next steps and trying to get this brought forward. I think you can tell I'm excited about trying to create a transportation authority in our region. I think it is the right thing to do for our future. So I'll answer any questions you have, Mr. Chairman.
Any of the board of supervisors have questions?
Well, it sounds like, you said you've been working on this for quite a while. How long have you been working on
About 18 months.
it? Okay, so with us added in, how long would it take for it to get us really, into the project? I guess.
How long would it take to get y'all into the project?
To get us into the project and for that project to start.
As soon as y'all pass a positive resolution saying you would like to be in the authority, created in the authority, as soon as you can do that, if you can do that at your next regular meeting, whenever that is, then you would be in, okay? So I'm still working my way through. I finished Dinwiddie County this afternoon. They passed their resolution. So I'm continuing to go around and work with everybody.
How long would it take for it to become a reality?
The quickest it could be a reality would be July the 1st of 27.
Okay, I have I have a question on the taxes that's generated from this.
Yes, sir.
We joined the authority, you're saying it's 8 cents or whatever per gallon of fuel. Okay, does that come out of the money that's going to VDOT and come to the authority?
Yes, sir.
So that's not additional?
It's not
Money?
additional taxing.
There's
No,
no additional
those are
fuel
taxes.
tax for the county?
Correct.
Yeah.
Fuel taxes that are created already by the county that are going to VDOT.
Okay,
They would then come to the authority.
come to the authority.
Yes, sir. And be
Okay.
divided up in those 3 pots that I shared with
Now,
you.
how does that affect us as far as VDOT funding for our area? I mean, does that take us out of their pool, their fund? Are they telling us that we need to do all our improvements through the authority?
No, sir. No, sir. You're still in consideration in any of their funding sources. Okay, but you now have taken a piece of that funding that you can make local decisions about. Okay,
Well, that's a little different. I understood. I understood it was gonna be an additional 8 cents, and I went, no way.
yeah, I get that. So,
But there
Just
is
to
an
be clear,
additional,
there's no extra burden to the taxpayer.
well, I think there is an additional 0.7%
Yes,
added
sir.
to the sales
Seven,
tax.
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So it is an additional burden to the taxpayer.
Yes, sir.
$7 on the thousand.
So, yeah, 0.7%.
And I just want to make that clear so everybody can hear.
Well, that's, it's a lot different than what I understood and saw, so thanks for clarification on that.
Taxpayers don't need no more burden, I can say that.
And of that, of these, the infrastructure you create to run this, that would be funded out of this money too, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Dennis? Yeah.
In the legislation, it says a member of the House of Delegates and a member of the Senate. Who would select those people?
That's generally decided in the bill itself. And so we didn't designate that. That's generally done at the legislature.
I mean, so we would still get our pot of money to make some local decisions with on transportation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Every year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And when I said 2.7 million come into Halifax County, that's annually. Okay. I have Central Virginia's report that they just did on, this is the Richmond Region's report and how they've improved their transportation systems. They've got multiple projects going. If you know Hampton Roads, you've been out that way as well. You know, that tunnel out there that's going under, that was funded through the Transportation Authority. So there are some things happening in our state that I hate for us in this area to pass up.
Initially, this covered the 85-95 corridor, right?
Yes, sir.
For the request I
Yes, sir.
had. So would this include now the 58-501-360 corridor?
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
far
sir.
would it extend south?
How far would what?
South, how far south would this extend
To the state line.
to the state line?
Yes, sir.
But this won't affect no other money that we get from the state. Just like for snow removal or equipment, it's not gonna affect any of that.
No, sir. It's primarily designed for infrastructure capital improvements in the regions and local control of that money to make those improvements. So who you might put on an authority as an authority member, whether it's one of your elected people or somebody else in the community, would be a very important person because they would help decide where the regional money is going to, as well as make sure they're keeping the balance in those pots of money. I've got to go all the way to the legislature after I finish visiting with y'all and try to figure out, can we get this put in place? It took the Central Virginia group 3 years. I'm in the second year of my time working on this. Sorry I didn't get here sooner to visit with y'all. But I'll be going back to Southside PDC here in July as well to visit with them again. And then I will make Mecklenburg and Brunswick as well, and down this way. And we'll have that discussion about how we can work together. Our PDC groups do work together quite frequently on projects, so on all types of projects with our local governments.
So far, just stopped in South Hill, right, with what you're having?
Yes, the Crater region and the South Central region. I mean, the South Side region, excuse me.
And the percentage again that stays in Halifax County, you said was 55%? What's the percentage
All right.
of the 8
Yes, sir. Of the whole amount,
that we contribute?
55% of that stays
Stays
with
in
the
the
local
county.
jurisdictions.
I know
Okay.
45 goes into the regional.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And I provided this, Ron, I'll make sure y'all get this as well to look at and study. It's got the amount of fuel that goes through Halifax. It's got all of that information on it. Okay?
Any other questions?
Yeah, the money that you take away from VDOT, how are they supposed to recoup this money to do their job?
VDOT has helped create these other transportation authorities. So I think their position is this is a new way to help us move projects faster and move it in the regions where you can help set the priorities for those projects. You know, I told you I got projects up there in Prince George that have been on the books for 15 years. No funding whatsoever. And I'm sure y'all have some of those same type projects.
Anyone else?
Well, so I mean, I would worry about big population up there having more influence than we would have
Sure.
in this authority, okay? But if, you know, we're getting some leverage out of this and we just have to politic hard to get the projects.
Yes, sir. One of the things my committee that worked on this initially said was, we don't want to do weighted distribution of monies or weighted distribution of decisions with a new board. My example for you is Chesterfield County's in CVTA, and they have 4 people on there because they got 400,000 people. Okay. We did one jurisdiction, one person, because we have worked well together. Y'all in the Southside region, my other group in the Crater region have worked very well coming to the table. And yes, sir, do we have to say, yeah, I'll help you on this one this time if you help me when I bring my project forward? Yes, sir. Some of that will occur.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda of public hearings, conditional use permit application number 1. Dietrich, would you like to take over that?
Sure.
Page 20.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to say good afternoon to the board and to the planning commission. Before I start, I want to take time to introduce Mr. Blake Wilkerson. He's an intern for the summer. And he's doing urban planning at Virginia Tech. So I just want to take time and let him to introduce himself. He's been helping me with some ordinances and some staff zoning work. So Blake, I'll let you stand and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Blake Wilkerson. I'm an intern under Dietrich Easy for the summer. Yeah, I'm a rising senior studying urban planning at Virginia Tech.
Good school.
We're good. So I just want to take time and introduce him and we wish him well coming to his senior year. So Mr. Chair, as you mentioned today, our first public hearing is for a solar conditional use permit application submitted by CEP Solar. This is to install a 69 megawatt solar facility on 13 parcels located in District 1. This is on Chisholm Trail and Hodges Street. This project encompasses around 934 acres, about 560 fenced in for the project. Most of you attended a site visit that we held at the site, and we witnessed that there's a lot of existing vegetation that encompasses the site that helps the visual aesthetics of seeing the project. We did hire the Berkeley Group to do a third-party review of this project and do the ordinance compliance. So the ordinance, this application does meet our ordinance. It meets the setbacks, the density. So everything has been reviewed and completed. So I'm not going to a lot of details. I think Mr. Rob Brooks has a presentation that we allow him to present before we do the public hearing. This will show the layout of the panels, the setbacks around the property. So Mr. Brooks will allow you to do a presentation before we open the public hearing. And Mr. Chair, I will come back and go over the site conditions as well that we work through to make sure compliance of the site to all ordinance. So Mr. Rob will allow you to do the presentation before we do the public hearing.
Thank you, Dietrich. Chairman Roller, Chair Griles, members of the board and Planning Commission, thank you for the opportunity to speak today, tonight with you about our Boxwood Solar Project. My name is Don Giesick. This is Rob Probst. I'm the Director of Permitting Initiatives at CEP Solar. My comments will just be about 30 seconds long. So CEP is a Virginia-based small business whose purpose is to partner with landowners, communities, and customers to deliver solar projects that will generate both environmental and economic benefits for our Commonwealth. I would like to introduce some of our team members here tonight. Richard Wright, CEP co-founder, is here. Rob Propst, Senior Project Manager. Reeve Ashcraft is also a project manager. Grace Divers is a Community Engagement Manager. We have John Pruvak here providing legal support. And we have Jillian Stickley and Scott Dunn from the Timmons Group providing engineering support and design support. So my last comment is we've listened very carefully to community comments. I know Rob and Reeve have spent a lot of time in the community, and we've heard the suggestions made by county staff and neighbors and community stakeholders. So with that, I'll just step back, turn it over to Rob Propst, and he'll present our Boxwood site to you.
Thank you, Don.
Good evening, Supervisor Roller, Supervisor Griles. My name is Rob Propst. I'm a Senior Project Manager at CEP Solar. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys tonight. I'm really excited to share this project with you. And as Dietrich mentioned, we've been working with his staff for many months, and they've thoroughly vetted it. And we're so pleased to hear that the staff and also the Berkeley Group have deemed the project fully compliant with your solar ordinance. I just want to share with you a little bit about our company, and then I'll talk a little bit about the project. So CEP Solar is a Virginia-based small business. We've got about 26 employees, all of whom live and work in the Commonwealth. So this is our backyard, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Our mission is to empower the Virginia's clean economy, and we do that by being a best-in-class development partner. And when I use the word partner, I don't just mean the companies that we interact with that help finance us or what have you. But we see partners in our communities that we're working in. It's the landowners that we're working with who are part of the project. It's the community, the local community immediately adjacent to the project. It's the broader county, and it's folks like yourselves and planning staff that we all value as partners. So this is just to get our bearings here. This is the location of the Boxwood Solar Project, and I know several of you have gone and visited the site. It's in the north central portion of the county in the Nathalie area. This next image here, just wanted to kind of give you a sense of the existing conditions. The predominant use of these parcels is for silviculture. A lot of it has been harvested over the years and cleared. We do have an existing transmission line that's owned by Dominion that runs through the site, through one of our parcels, that we would locate a substation at that, want to attach to the transmission line. The Boxwood Solar Project has very extensive setbacks, and I know it might be a little challenging to read from this image here, but what we're trying to show is that the distance between the different houses on adjacent properties and the solar array. But the punchline here is that the average distance between adjacent houses and the project fence line is approximately 1,000 feet, which is amazing. It's clearly a very rural, out of sight, hidden project. And there are relatively few homes in this area, so it's really ideal for this large scale solar project. The other thing I want to point out is that you can see just a few faint areas where there's some bright green lines bordering some of the parcels. That's where we anticipate we may need some additional supplemental vegetation. When this project gets under construction in the next year and a half or so, that may not even be the case. That vegetation may be already filled in. But I just wanted to highlight that there's very few places today, if we were to start construction today, where supplemental vegetation would be needed. And in fact, there's only one place along a public road, Chisholm Trail, that's about 90 feet wide, that again, today, if we were to build it, would probably need some supplemental vegetation. So this is the preliminary site plan, which I know you guys have in your packets. Just kind of shows you how we're thinking about, the array and where the panels would be situated. As you can see, we're set back from any environmentally sensitive areas. There's 2 access roads that serve the project site. Chisholm Trail serves the western portion of the site, and Hodges Street serves the south eastern portion of the site. And as I said, you can see that transmission line there and our point of interconnection. And we're also set back from some of the wetland areas as well. There's wildlife corridors that we've integrated into the project so that wildlife can continue to utilize the area and pass through it, access the area. And again, I just want to highlight, because I think there's been maybe some confusion about the total number of acres of this project. The total land under option is 955 acres, but the area that's going to be fenced is about approximately 578 fenced acres and about 432 under panel. So just wanted to clarify that. As I said, this is a project that we're very pleased is in full compliance with the county's very robust solar ordinance that I know you guys updated your ordinance a couple of years ago, and you put in, several features that are protective of the community, which we fully support, and we're happy to integrate into this project. Some of those features that this project will embody, that some of the projects that are up and running today don't have, are increased setbacks, wider vegetative buffers, taller trees at the time of planting a vegetative buffer, third-party review and compliance. You guys have the reduced acreage cap for large-scale projects within a 5-mile radius. You have water and soil testing that's required, road repair requirements, and a site plan performance bond. Again, all very good measures that we fully embrace, and we think will make for a high quality project that is that the community would be more receptive to. In addition to the robust solar ordinance that the county has in place, we would also need to go through a state permitting process called permit by rule. And it involves several different agencies, a few of which are listed here, covering things like water resources, wildlife, cultural, and historical. It's about a 3 to 4 month process. And it takes a fine tooth comb and looks over the project to make sure that it is protective of the natural environment and the community. Some of these things we've already started to do, and that information is in your packet. We've done a threatened and endangered species review. The review determined that there were no observations of threatened and endangered species within 2 miles of the site. We've also done a desktop cultural and historical look at the project, and again, there were no previously recorded historical resources and no known archaeological resources within a half mile of the site. Just shifting gears here a little bit, just to kind of from high levels, folks might wonder like, okay, when's construction going to start? What's that look like? What about operation? And then finally decommissioning. So those are the 3 phases of the project. We're planning to start construction in late 2027, early 2028 timeframe. It'll be about a 12-month construction period. At the peak of construction, there would be about 150 personnel on site. And again, that'll vary depending on what's going on at the site. Could be as few as 50 people, but at a peak of roughly 150. Once we're in operation, that the operation of the project really is very remote. It's monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's no daily staff on site, and maintenance visits are pretty infrequent, maybe once or twice a month. And then finally, the third phase, decommissioning, where the equipment is removed, and including potentially access roads, depending on whether the property owner would like to have those remain, and then of course fencing. And then, as you know, it's because it's embodied in the solar ordinance, there's a decommissioning bond that is required by Halifax County, which is updated every 5 years to ensure that when decommissioning needs to occur, that the resources are in place to do that. Obviously, that would presume to be on the owner operator. The economic benefits, we think, are pretty remarkable, quite frankly. We had Mangum Economics conduct a financial analysis to estimate both the direct and indirect benefits during the construction and operational phases of the project. I won't go into detail here on all of these bulleted points, but as you can see, during the construction phase, there's fairly sizable amounts of dollars that flow into the community through local wages and economic output. Same during the operational phase. And then, of course, the taxes that get paid by this facility, $7.7 million in cumulative taxes over the life of the project. And then we're going to talk about this later, but the siting agreement that we've negotiated with the county, $1.7 million in voluntary payments. Of that $1.7 million, there's $174,000 for play equipment for Edmonds Park, which is a community priority, or something important to the community, I should say, and a Board of Supervisors capital improvement priority. And then also $10,000 for the Liberty Volunteer Fire Department for equipment. They are one of 2 firehouses that would serve our project area. And then I thought, when we looked at the Mangum report, we found that, again, something that jumped out to me, the project, compared to what the revenue that the county gets today from that land, this project would generate 38 times more revenue than its current use. So I'm sure much needed revenue for the county. I wanted to touch a little bit on some of the community outreach that we've done, which is, it's so important to us that we operate transparently in the community to provide people with information about who we are and what we're proposing. This is a process that started over a year ago, and as you can see, we've done a lot of different things in the community. We've hosted 2 community meetings. We had, of course, the formal site visit that 3 citizens attended. We've mailed letters out to all the adjoining landowners on 3 different occasions. And we've done some really good volunteer work, and we've supported a number of good programs, as you can see there. And then in addition, presentations to the NAACP, and my colleague Grace and I also spent a full day at the Halifax High School kind of delivering Solar 101 presentation to all the science classes, 9th through 12th grade. So that was really fun. In conclusion, this is a project that it checks all the boxes, right? It meets the comprehensive plan. In some ways, it goes above and beyond the county's requirements. You have a very strategically sited site. 39% of the land would be not used for solar. There's really very minimal visibility associated with the project. A huge amount of new tax revenue coming to the county, designed with the environment in mind, with wildlife corridors and enhanced stormwater design standards. And, again, community engagement, so important to us. It was so important, in fact, that we added a condition to your list of about 40 conditions to make it 41 conditions, that we set up a group of folks before the project gets underway to make sure that they are informed on the project as it starts to unfold during construction. So in closing, I hope you will agree that we are bringing a project to the county that is thoughtfully designed, that we've done a good job engaging and investing in the local community, and the project will create significant economic value for the county. We believe this is a project that sets a high bar for any other solar project that may become before the county in the future. In closing, I would respectfully ask that you support our conditional use permit request. Thank you.
Is it now time for questions that you may have? Listen, y'all have given us ample opportunity to come to the public hearing or the public question informational. We've had site visits you want to do, and I know so many of us have been to the sites and looked at the sites, but if anyone has any questions or need any clarification, now's the time to ask him.
The total cost of building this project, what would that be?
The total cost is approximately $154 million.
And the life of this project is what, 35 years?
We factored into our analysis a 40-year life.
So the county received 7.7 million over the 40 years. Is that correct?
That for the taxes, not including the voluntary payments. And the voluntary payments are based on the 25,000 per megawatt that the county has approved in other projects in the past on that.
So $154 million cost to build this thing. And what the megawatt sell for? Is the life expectancy of his solar panels 40 years?
So the life expectancy in solar panels are typically about 25 to 30-ish years. So there's a possibility that we could repower the system. Solar panels only degrade at about 0.5% per year. So even after the 25-year life, they're not fully depleted per se, but they're starting to kind of reach their end of life in terms of their energy productivity, to where it's a decision that the owner operator of the project would make. It's whether to repower it with new panels.
So about 25 years is the total life of the solar panels, roughly.
Roughly.
So with $154 million to build this thing, and what the megawatt sell for, it won't pay for itself in 25 years.
No, will.
I'm not sure what you mean. Will it pay for itself?
So my question would be, how do a company build something that is not going to make its money back? In what ways does the company make its money?
No, I mean it will make money through the sale of power. I mean, it will make this money through the sale of selling the energy from the project.
So
Never make that money back.
Yeah, just doing the math, just doing the math on it, and been doing some research on the math and what the megawatt sell for and what it produce over 25 years. Matter of fact, when I've done the math, I give you 35 years. I wish I brought my notebook with me, but forgot it. But anyway, you will not sell enough. It won't make enough power to pay for itself in 25 years.
I mean, I beg to disagree. We're not in the business of losing money. So, we are a for-profit business. We have financial models that we're running all the time to put in, different things as the landscape changes, whether it's the cost of capital or the cost of equipment or, whatever it may be. I wouldn't be standing here before you if we thought we're going to lose money.
So you guys being solar, you'll be receiving the credits, the green energy credits off of this. Most companies do.
Yeah, I mean there are some renewable energy credits in the market that get traded at a price. I'm not an expert in that market, but I know that they are traded for value in the marketplace, so that could be part of the revenue stream of the project.
Are some of those sold higher than the megawatt prices, the wholesale megawatt prices?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry. I don't know if, Richard, do you know if what the sale of RECs go for versus the cost of energy?
It's a part of a part of the revenue stack, so there's an energy sale.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for your time tonight. Nice to be here. The RECs are a part of the revenue stream typically, and like many commodities, that's variable over time, and they're contracted at different terms. That's in addition to the energy and capacity value of the electricity that's generated.
If I may pull that string. So right now, what do you get for kilowatt hour? 7 cents or so, just ballpark?
It's going up.
7 to 8 cents.
7 to 8, maybe, yeah.
So a 69 megawatt facility, that's what, 69,000 kilowatts, right? At 7 cents an hour.
Mm-hmm.
69,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's
well, it's actually there's the actual production is calculated differently based on the DC capacity, but yeah.
I'm just getting a snapshot of 1 hour. So
Okay.
what percentage would you give it? The average capacity is 75, 50%?
We calculate it on an annual basis,
Yeah.
based on the variability of the weather and all the other operating factors.
Yeah.
There's a net yield for the
that's
project,
what
and that ultimately generates,
I'm just trying to get a real small snapshot.
well, the best snapshot is a year. I mean, in time, based on weather and how these projects operate. So it's, I mean, I think the point is that these projects generate are structured much like any type of asset that has
I'm just
contracted.
trying to get a snapshot. So what is it for a year? What's your ballpark figure for a year you're gonna power sales?
I can give you some generation numbers.
Just ballpark.
Yeah. Let me just be accurate here for you. So, bear with me here just a second. It just depends on, yeah, so you might have, I think it's about 100, and the yield can be anywhere from 1,650 to 1,700 per year. And so that's based on total DC capacity. And so it might generate 158,000 megawatt hours a year.
Yeah, so at what cost?
At on the revenue, 7 to 8 cents,
7 or 8 cents.
or $70 to $80 a megawatt hour to apples to apples.
So $75 times.
Yes. 158,000.
So I've also tried to run numbers to see how much a facility would generate.
Okay, and we can share this from the specific project with you.
A megawatt, that's 1,000 kW.
Yes, sir.
So 1 megawatt, every hour is 1,000 kWh. And in Virginia, from 1990 through 20, the average number of hours of direct sunlight is 2,823 hours. Per day. For the year. Anyway, when you run that, and if you figure 7 cents per kWh, I come up right at $200,000 annual income per megawatt. So that times the 69, you're getting up in the millions by the time you can, I was just curious, how does this work? And my numbers say that yes, they do generate enough electricity to pay for themselves.
Yeah.
And y'all make money.
Your numbers,
right? Yeah, the project will make money. I mean, it has to pay. It
$12
pays
million a year.
Investors don't loan us money to lose money, right? I mean, we don't have some sort of $1 billion slush fund that we're just pulling money out of to build projects. I mean, we go to investors. They want a return on their investment.
Just to answer the question, the numbers you gave me, that's roughly $12 million a year. This is a little bit higher. It's not taking into consideration some of the degradation, but $12 million a year.
Gross revenue.
So gross revenue. So at $150 million, you're looking at 12 or 15 years just to pay back that gross revenue.
Yeah, I mean, it has to pay
operating costs and financing costs, and yeah, so you're
25 years it will pay for itself.
It will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it will. And it's operating at a positive cash flow from day one.
Yep.
It's structured to have contingent operating cash flow, net revenue, positive net revenue after taking into account financing costs, county costs, tax benefits, landowner payments.
As long as you
paying
pay
all
us,
the-
we don't care.
Sorry, yeah, right.
Are you taking
We
tax
want to
credits
pay
and
everybody.
subsidies?
We want everybody to get paid.
Order, wait a minute. We're gonna have public hearing in a minute and you'll be able to speak at that time.
We, the project wants is obligated to make all of its payments, landowners, county, other stakeholders. That's what this project's committed to.
I had a question. Are you taking tax credits and subsidies?
Tax
Credits and subsidies, are you taking those?
It depends. I mean, the rules changed last year.
Well, that was a yes or no, because every other solar project takes tax credits and subsidies to survive. So are y'all taking them or not?
If it qualifies in the end of the day, the goal right now is to maintain the tax credit eligibility. If the timeline at the end of the project doesn't allow it or rules change again, then it may not be eligible. Right now, the project is eligible for tax credits.
I'm sure it is, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Well, the economics are changing.
Excuse me?
The economics are starting to change because of some of the market dynamics with power pricing increasing. You know, the industry was going to wean itself off of the tax credits anyway, but some of the market dynamics that we're all involved in very heavily here in Virginia with load growth and higher electricity costs, part of which we're trying to help solve and make that cost more affordable for all the ratepayers, is starting to move these projects into a direction where they hopefully won't need the tax credits to be more viable in the future.
But you'll move forward with or without them.
This project, currently, that would be the plan. It makes it more challenging.
They would not survive without it. That's the bottom line.
Any more questions about this project not related to the business model?
I've got
Thank you.
one, hypothetically speaking, if we have a hailstorm or a tornado, who eats the cost of that? The landowner? Does the landowner still draw his check, or does it cut off?
No. The landowner still draws his or her check. We're contractually obligated to pay the landowner, whether the facility operates, every day of the week, 24, not 24 hours a day, but, or if it's down, that we still have to pay the landowner. And so, that cost, if we had damage to the panels, would be borne by the owner operator of the facility. And obviously we'd have insurance to cover things like that.
Because most of the time, the taxpayer takes the brunt of the storm. You know that. I used to work for a power plant, and usually that's what happens. The cost goes up, consumer pays.
Well, when we would enter into contracts to sell the power, we're going to sell it, that power at a certain rate. That's, we're locked into a multi-year contract, so we can't come back and say, gosh, we got a hailstorm yesterday. We're going to have to raise the price under the contract for you. It's a locked in fixed rate, which is what makes solar so attractive to the people that are buying the solar energy. You got a very predictable, rate over a long period of time. And that's unlike fossil fuels, which, as we've all seen, right, have a lot of volatility depending on what's going on in the marketplace. So the world, solar is very stable priced.
Another question I have concerning safety. Safety is a very, very big priority to me. So everyone realizes it has been to the site of Chisholm Trail and Liberty Road. With Chisholm Trail would that be the main entrance to this solar farm?
There's two roads that serve three different access points. Chisholm Trail, there's 2 access points off of that road, and that serves predominantly the western half of the project. And off of Hodges Street is another entry point serving the eastern side of the project.
So with safety concerns of the highway, it's a 4-way intersection at Liberty Road and Chisholm Trail.
Mhm.
with, less than 75 feet visibility going north on, Liberty Road. What have you guys thought about any kind of safety precautions with this? The reason I say this is there's gonna be a lot of traffic with you guys doing construction. And there's also a lot of traffic on that road, not only for the personal, but also for the Amish community. The Amish community is all around this. So we need to look at safety, concerning them also.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's-
no,
that's what I'm
I
looking
was
for.
going to say I appreciate that question because yes, it is something that we're acutely aware of, that intersection. It's currently a two-way stop there, and there's some trees on that corner that belong to a homeowner that I think is what you're speaking of that do limit the visibility looking north on Liberty Road. In fact, that person was with us during our site visit who lives in that house. We talked about that, and I had mentioned to that homeowner that I'd heard some concerns about visibility from folks at the community meeting that we held. Just on a, that's an issue, an ongoing issue, right? The visibility. I just passed that information along to the homeowner, and they said that they were getting a quote to professionally trim back the trees, and to which I said, that'd be great. And I said, that's, if you decide to do that, it's your business. It would certainly be a benefit to us. And I said, I'd be happy to reimburse you for that cost of doing that. Again, just trying to, be a good neighbor to folks. So I don't know where that stands. But I'm just relaying to you that yes, we're aware of it. I've also spoken to VDOT about that to see, maybe some things that we could do during construction to make that safer for any large vehicles that cross it during construction. So that's an ongoing conversation. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Decommissioning insurance.
I'm sorry, decommissioning.
You said it's gonna be $154 million project. Yes. How much decommissioning insurance are you taking out on this?
The decommissioning estimate, I don't know off the top of my head what it was. It is in your packet. There's a decommissioning memo in there that was provided by an engineering firm. And so, whatever that amount is, we would post the, financial requirements for it.
I saw it in the package, just for public sake. It's gonna be graduated according to inflation too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every 5 years, it gets updated for inflation. And just so I know, we got this question at a community meeting. Some people asked, well, what if you go bankrupt and who's going to stand behind this thing? The answer is the banks stand behind it. So irregardless of our financial condition, the bank is what backstops the bond. Yes, sir. Thank you for answering that question.
If no other questions or comments, thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna cover the conditional use
I will after the public hearing.
after public, hearing? Okay.
Thank you.
Now, the Board of Supervisors opens the public hearing.
And the planning commission would like to open the public hearing also. Anyone speaking against the project?
Good evening. My name is Stacy Long, and I'm here to speak against allowing this solar facility. I'm from Alton, and I've been here many times speaking on this same issue for my community. Alton is the poster child for how not to build a solar facility, and I want to assure that no other area ends up like us. I'm urging this board to protect our land against the rapid encroachment of utility-scale solar developments. While energy diversification is a noted regional topic, the sheer scale of proposed and active solar projects threatens to destroy the very foundation of our county's economy, heritage, and long-term food security for generations to come. Utility-scale solar leases offer rental rates that local working farmers cannot match. This prices out our multi-generational tenant farmers, ensuring that young people can no longer afford to enter the agricultural workforce, and drives out our youth from Halifax County. Also, a significant portion of the wealth generated by these solar projects does not stay in Halifax County. While out-of-state corporate developers and absentee landowners pocket guaranteed lease checks, that money isn't spent here. Another problem is the rapid turnover of these projects during and after construction. With corporate project sell-offs, it makes Halifax County vulnerable to enforce accountability, erosion control, and decommission and liability. These companies don't care about our county like we do. They build and move on somewhere else and leave the mess for someone else to clean up, like our roads that severely get damaged. It took 3 years for Alton just to get the potholes filled in. We have a beautiful county that people move to for a slower pace of life and peace and quiet. One family I know moved to Alton for just that, and they have now been surrounded by solar panels. Their peace and quiet was destroyed. Another friend of mine lives near another solar facility being constructed here, and she has now decided to sell her entire farm and rental houses due to losing her peace and quiet. The amount of money these projects supposedly generates for our county certainly haven't lowered our taxes. So just how are they helping us? And some people were promised lower power bills, but that isn't the case either, as most power bills have increased. Members of the board, we aren't just leasing property to solar, we are permanently evicting the next generation of possible farmers, homeowners, nature, and wildlife. I urge you, let's preserve our county's land for our children and not for out-of-town energy grids. When all the trees are cut down, when all the animals are dead, when all the waters are poisoned, when all the air is unsafe to breathe, only then will you discover you can't eat money. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
So my name is Shelley, and I currently live in the Liberty community, and I also grew up in Crystal Hill on Hodges Street, which is another entrance to this proposed solar project, and so this is pretty important to me. I want to begin by saying thank you. I believe in property rights. I believe landowners should have the freedom to make decisions about their property. However, that freedom cannot come at the expense of the rights, quality of life, and property values of their neighbors and the community. Every time you sit here as a board, you consider a conditional use permit. You are asked to determine whether the proposed use is appropriate for the surrounding community. You consider how it affects the neighbors, the landowners, the local roads, the public safety, and the characters of the area. That is exactly why we are here tonight. This project is not simply a business or a building that you are voting on. It is an industrial scale development that will permanently change the landscape of our community. It will change the views people have invested in, alter the character of the rural roads, and impact the countryside many of us choose to call home. What concerns me the most is that many of the landowners do not even live here. Some, primarily most, don't even live in Virginia. Yes, it is the people who live here every day who will have to bear these consequences. And for what purpose? The energy is not being generated to meet the needs of our community, nor is it helping us on our electric bills. It is being sent elsewhere. If the projects were such a benefit, why are the other communities fighting to keep them out and we are being targeted? Because we have the land, that's why. Outside interest and opportunity, and people sell their souls to the devil every day. Many of us choose to live here because we choose to have and value the open space, the agriculture, the wildlife, and the rural way of life. Every decision that makes this county less desirable pushes people away, and if we lose the people in our county, we lose what makes this county worth protecting. I'm also concerned about the environmental impact of the project. The proposed site runs through a major swamp area and a wildlife corridor. Disturbing those wetlands is going to raise serious concerns about our wildlife displacement, our stormwater runoff, and the impact to neighboring ponds and waterways. I also want to address the issue of the community benefits that was proposed to you guys. I found it very troubling that this company proposes to give a measly $10,000 to Liberty Fire Department while offering $175,000 to Edmonds Park. Parks are important. I have kids, I have grandkids. They love to play, okay? But when one of those kids falls off of that playground, our EMS and our volunteer firefighters are the ones who respond. When a house catches on fire, it's the volunteer firefighters. Who's gonna answer that call? If there's ever an emergency involving this facility, Liberty Fire Department would be expected to respond as well. Yet these departments are already struggling in funding, and they're struggling with their volunteer recruitment. If this company truly wants to be a community partner, then it should invest in the emergency services that protect every resident of this county. Before I close, I have,
You can't, time, it has expired. I'm sorry,
Okay.
3-minute limit.
all right, thank you. Can I ask one last question? Just one?
Public comment.
Okay. I just want to ensure that every one of you that are making this decision tonight, I just want to know, are you going to personally, or are you willing to go into litigation to say that, yes, I'm overseeing this project? They're only as good as they are overseeing. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would please, you know, this is a public comment, section and I know you agree and you want to cheer, but, applause is not allowed during the public comment section, just to make you all aware. So go ahead, please. 3 minutes.
Well, I don't have a prepared fancy speech, and I'm just a bumpkin, Crystal Powell, Hodges Street resident, and it's a little above my pay grade. I don't understand all this solar stuff, but what I do understand is our community. I've been on Hodges Street for 30 years. Sally and I used to walk up and down the street and meet each other halfway, because back then we just call each other on the telephone and you just meet your friend halfway. We have ripped and run those roads and those woods and everything else. That's been our peaceful place. On that road, you have a lot of elderly people, and you have children, and you have a lot of pets. We are very concerned about the traffic that's going to be coming through there. My grandma rides her little golf cart to go see her little neighbor friend, Miss Mabel White. She's like 80 years old. She walks. There's several curves on that road that you can't see around them. They come around that barreling. They might hit one of them. Our kids ride their bikes. Miss Clem's kids, they ride their bikes. Our dogs are out. That is our peaceful place. Nobody down there has been there. I think y'all have been there, what, 15 years now? They're the only ones that haven't been there as long as the rest of us. We all work together. We all live peacefully and cooperate together. We don't need all this coming in, disrupting what we've got going on. And to be completely honest, I'm a little bit ticked off about it, because I closed on the piece of land on Hodges Street that y'all are going to use to get in there. And when I talked to that man, I figured something was shady, but of course he wanted it for hunting. But I think he knew this all along. This is literally my mama's next door property. And with all due respect, y'all, it's not your backyard. It's our backyard. Okay? We're the ones that have to deal with that. Not you all. None of y'all live out there except for Andy. None of y'all will have to deal with the traffic. And as far as what Mr. Smart said about just pay us and we don't care, we care. We care. You know, we might just be bumpkins to everybody else, but this is our community. And another thing, why does it take solar for us to decide to upgrade something for the kids anyway? We should have been done that to begin with. Our kids don't have nothing. So I think y'all need to reconsider this project, and I really, really hope that y'all will think about us and not the money, because we are the ones that have to deal with it, not you.
Ma'am, your name, please? I didn't.
Crystal Powell.
Okay, Rachel Powell, thank you.
Crystal.
Crystal, okay, thank you.
I was preparing a speech and I didn't. And I'm probably
State your name.
Brooke Clay. I'm probably the only person in this room that had a piece of land that the solar farm wanted. It was my inheritance from my grandpa. It meant everything to me. But I sold it to a man who promised me he wouldn't turn it into solar. My granddaddy and his brother had halves in that land. I know solar has been wanting to come here since 2010. Gail Tiller was the first person. She's what got it started. You're taking what our kids do have. They're horse trails. They're full of trails. I live all around solar. Okay? They don't know what they're in for. Y'all definitely don't, because you don't live there. This is what I used to keep in my car. 47 kids, 47 times me and my kids got ran out the road. Flat tires, 3. Window busted, 1. Oil pan busted. Solar man offered to pay for it. Never did. There was a hole in our road as big as my car. that my car could have fit in at the end of Bows and Bows. Nobody cared. Nobody done nothing. You're making a mistake. There we have time. They've been wanting to come here since 2010. You don't have to jump on this opportunity now. Why don't you wait and see the effects long term before you bring any more solar here? I gave up $5.5 million to not bring solar here. And now the man who's got it that promised me he wouldn't is probably going to cash in, and I'm a single mom of 3, but he's going to cash in on the $5.5 million.
My name's Harry Hatz. I live on Henry's Trail, and part of this project abuts my land. I have concerns with the traffic. You're talking, he said 150 workers a day. It's bad out there now with the Amish just riding around. A lot of close calls. The roads are not meant for this kind of traffic. Who's going to fix them? Are they going to fix them up after they leave? I have a concern with the enormity of this project. That land, I believe, drains down to a shared creek in between us. I'm not looking to have my land flooded because of this runoff. A lot of this ground is going to be open, and there's going to be no vegetation there to absorb the water. And there's swamps around there as well, and that's going to add to that problem. I sit on my back porch, which is elevated, with my bride every morning. We drink coffee, and that's the way we face. I didn't buy this ground out here to look at solar panels. I bought it for the peace and quiet. I know they could put anything in writing. You know, we'll fix the drainage, we'll fix the buffer zones. But yeah, you know as well as I do, people put this stuff in writing, then try to get them to fix it. You get a warranty, get them to fix it. We're going to be there forever trying to fix this stuff up. And I'm getting old. I want to enjoy the rest of my life, and that's the reason I bought this property. I don't want anybody around me. I just want to enjoy the life that I have, but I don't want to have to deal with these extra problems. And the one thing that the gentleman said that if we were to do the project, this is where the panels will be. He said if. He didn't say that's where they're going to be. You know, there's going to be a lot of wildlife areas that are destroyed. You know, I sit out there, listen to the owls and whatever, and now all that's going to be concentrated into a smaller area. So, and I agree with what the one young lady said. That was a slap in the face to Liberty Fire Company. It's a small country volunteer fire company. Them boys do a good job. And something happens, $10,000 be eaten up in a heartbeat. And also, how much they're giving the county. Over $154 million and they're giving that? That don't make sense to me. It's all about profit. So my time's up, and I thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Charles. Just a couple questions for y'all and the board. Fears. We've had solar panels that are operating now for 2 or 3 years. Do we have numbers on what tax base money they're bringing in at all?
We do. We have a spreadsheet.
Okay. Are there
Sorry.
150 employees?
Charles,
Sir,
if you would remove your cap, please. Thank you. Okay.
are any of them Halifax County employees? Another question is, and I apologize, these are friends of mine on this list, but every one of these solar panels benefit the same people, the same landowners, every time. And I think we just need to put the brakes on it and see what is happening. The same people are getting the same amount of money every time. Thank y'all.
Hi, my name is Nicole Clem. I've been a resident of Halifax County for 15 or so years now, married into this county. We moved on Hodges Street. We live on the dead end that's going to join the land that they put it on. I have 3 kids. I'm a mother of 3 kids that love to ride their bikes, their side-by-side four-wheelers up the road. You're taking that away. You're taking that away from them. You're taking the creek away from them, where they play at on a daily basis. They were in there today for almost 4 hours. What do you want me to tell my kids to do? Sit inside and play video games? They go outside. They enjoy going outside. That's what they want to do. They want to go hunting. But hunting off of Chisholm Trail, and I speak for all the hunters here, and my husband who couldn't be here tonight, big hunter. That's what we fill our freezer with. It costs $500 for me to go grocery store for a family of 5. So when my husband brings home turkey, deer, whatever he kills, that's what we feed my family with. It saves us a ton of money. You're taking that away from us. You're taking that away from all the hunters. Hodges Street is a very secluded area. That's why we moved there. We didn't want neighbors. Our closest neighbor, which we have the best neighbors, is probably a half a mile up the road. We love it. It's very secluded. But with all this mess going on, we're the ones that have to drive through it on a daily basis. We're the ones that my kids, I have to worry about, oh, you can't go outside and play in the creek because you've got people working over there. I don't want to have to worry about it. I moved there so I did not have to worry about these things. You're getting $154 million, but what are we getting from it? We're getting nothing from this, nothing at all. It does not benefit us at all. We've even talked to a few realtors. It's going to decrease our property. We own about 20 acres. It's going to decrease the value of our property. That's not what we want. What if we did move here to be a lifelong house for our children to grow up in. We have teenagers and an 8-year-old. That's what we wanted, but we don't want it anymore. We don't want to look out. I'm going to have to look out my beautiful back windows. I have 9 floor to ceiling windows. I'm going to look out those windows and see solar panels. No matter what trees or fences, what. I don't want to see it. I don't want my kids to grow up and see it. They love Halifax County. I have grown to love Halifax County. I teach here. I have these children in my classrooms that love Halifax County. Why are you going to put this in our county and take the love of the secluded area away from them, the peace and quiet? It's not worth it at all to see these children grow up the way they are. I don't want to have to tell my children to stay inside because there's 100 workers 1,000 feet away from my house working. I don't trust people that I don't know. Do you? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Darrell Chandler. I'm with TC's Barbecue. I'm a little ticked off because when I was approached a couple of months ago about supporting this solar plant, it was supposed to be like in the middle of nowhere, and I was all for it, but it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's going to mess up 90-some people, and there's a solar farm in my backyard, and just like she said, my children hate it. We can't ride our four-wheelers anymore. We can't shoot our guns off in the backyard anymore. We can't go hunting in the backyard anymore. And it sucks. And I'm very irritated that I was under false pretenses brung here. So that's a little mad too. But as a business owner, I'm not gonna see any of that money either. And that's 150 people. That's not even Halifax County employees. That doesn't make no sense. And then there's Amish people out there. My wife works with the Amish. Big trucks in the middle of that community is a no-go. Even on my road on Crystal Hill Road, I got to fight now because the solar plant is there now, is doing some kind of maintenance, and now I got 30-something trucks on my road. They don't know how to drive in the middle of the road. The traffic is no good for our area. And it's not worth the money. And if we get the money, it needs to go to the first responder. I mean, I saw the pictures on there about the Feed Halifax and the fire department and stuff like, but what money did they really get? Just saying I showed up doesn't help out the community. We need money, but we don't need it at the cost of our children. It's a 40-year project, so that means by the time that baby back there has her own children and still be out there, she still want to be able to enjoy the land. Land is worth more than any kind of money. They're not making any more of it. They want to build a solar plant so bad. Go find some dirt that's uninhabitable and you can sell it to someone that actually lives in the county and the money can come to the county versus somebody out there in Nevada somewhere. We got to take care of our own. We're a small town, a small community, and we need to stand together and stop being treated like backwood hicks, because we're not. We're smarter than that. And I'm sorry, it's no amount of money worth that. Like he said, the safety. Like he said, they're not gonna make the money back. The bank will take care of the loan. That sucks.
Pete, please let them speak.
I did. I didn't stop.
No, you just.
I mean, at the end of the day, what's best for our children and our children's children, the community, is not money. It's legacy, it's land, it's experiences. I mean, who remembers going hunting fishing with their dad? The next generation will be able to do that if this goes through. We just can't do it.
Good evening. My name is Pamela Powell. I've lived and worked here in this county my entire life. I grew up on Hodges Street. I remember when it was a dirt road. My grandmother was the one that had to jump through hoops and get petitions to even get the road tarred. I've been there that long. I left and I came back. And why did I come back? Because it's where I want to be. It's where I grew up. It's where I know all the people there and they know me. But I'm a little bit confused and I don't want to speak out of turn. But this sounds to me like these people are offering a really nice bribe in order to get what they want. No, we don't have money like that. We care about our property. And if our property goes down in value, are you all going to give us a tax break on our real estate taxes? Are you going to come out and reassess it and consider what's sitting there at our back door? I just moved my 85-year-old parents there with me because my stepdad has Parkinson's and my mother is starting with dementia. I've done a lot of reading and studying on this. I've also found out that crime increases where these solar panels are set up. Why? Because we have so many drug addicts and they're coming to steal the copper or whatever they can get there. Go to CNN, you'll find the story. You know, we're backwoods country people, and we know how to take care of ourselves. So we don't want a problem here. We don't want Fred Clark having to come out there again because he's been out there numerous times for different things. You know, we don't want Fred Clark having to come out there because some thieves have come there during the night and found themselves shot because we take care of our own. That's just the way it is. And if nobody else speaks for us, we have to speak for ourselves. Nobody cared about Hodges Street back in the day when it was a gravel road. Okay, can anybody tell me how this is going to help me on my electric bill or my elderly parents' electric bill? Does anybody have any answers to that for me? I don't see that anybody's going to profit here except the county, the money coming into the county from the bribes these people are so honestly offering. But I do understand that there are also people that have been told that they're going to be paid and have yet to be paid for the use of their land for right-of-way. That's something else you might want to think about. So I ask you to please, we've got enough of this going on in our county already. If it keeps going, the whole county is going to be solar. What happens in 20 to 30 years when there's no more solar there? What are you going to do? Are you going to come get your mess up? Are you gonna clean it up or you gonna leave it there?
Ms. Powell, your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, I'm Mary Loftus Hall, and I live on Hodges Street. My dad lives beside me. We're raising our grandchild. And my dad bought that farm 30 some years ago, and we wanted a place where our family could enjoy the outdoors. My dad built 5 ponds so we could all fish on it, family, friends, people in the community. Um, my grandson loves to get on the four-wheeler. Like Nicole Clem said, we have a strong community. Pam, we all live on the road. We all talk to each other. It's only a mile long. Um, this land is not just acreage on the map. It's part of our family and our little small community. My nieces, our cousins come out. We have somewhere where our family who don't live on a large amount of land can come out and enjoy themselves. My mom was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 25 years ago. She was bedridden. My dad would put her in the golf cart, take her to these ponds, feed the fish. It sounds simple to you all, but it meant the world to her. That was her only outlet to get out. Now we're going to have a solar farm in our backyard, like everyone else said. My husband and I have rescued dozens of dogs, and we are responsible dog owners. We have halo collars, which they're expensive. We have tracking collars, and with the traffic, some of those dogs, they run through. Some of them are beagles. They're gonna run through and go across that yard, no matter how many times they're shocked. And I don't want them to get killed by these big trucks coming down our 1 mile road. It's only 1 mile road. I'm the first house. My dad's the second house. I think it's maybe a total of 6 or 7, 8 people on our entire road. We purchased it because of the very things that this project threatens to change it. We do have our neighboring swamp that my dad calls the Browns Ford Swamp. We are worried about the habitat, the beavers, and the things that are going to be just concentrated in that area. Projects like this are often discussed in terms of acres, dollars, and megawatts, but for the adjoining landowners like me, this is personal. It's what we call home. Thank you. Do you want to say anything, Dad?
I just hope it don't happen.
Hello, my name is Terry Hudson. I was actually asked to be here on behalf of the Liberty Volunteer Fire Department. So I might need some more time because I'm going to speak on 3 people's concerns, me, myself, and I. But anyway, the solar people, they have reached out to our fire department as far as emergency action plan and all, and they have done that part of what they said. But as the other standpoint of it, I also work with the highway department. That is my area. I'm the supervisor of the Volans area headquarters. A lot of what y'all heard these people say about the roads is absolutely true. None of the roads that solar farms have been on, the roads won't tow up. The one that young lady was speaking back there in Alton at Bose and Bose store, the highway department had to actually go in there with skyfire blades on the graders and tear the road asphalt up and make it dirt road, so it would hold up long enough till they finish. They had to just keep on coming in putting rock on it. Another road they've done in our area on Crystal Hill Road, where Mr. Chandler was talking about, it's the same way. A tractor trailer actually turned over on that road with a load of solar panels. I wish y'all might ask Mr. Donnie Ellerton, if you ever run up on him, what trouble he went through to dispose of these solar panels. Because at that point, the solar farm or the solar representative, whoever, they didn't want them anymore because they weren't no good. It cost them a lot of money. It cost, I guess the state maybe or the insurance, somebody had to pay for it, because also the fire department responded to this call because it was an accident. As I said, I'm the chief of the Liberty Volunteer Fire Department, and that road is the road in our area. So the Liberty Volunteer Fire Department was there. Also, the Highway Department was there as well with traffic control for numerous hours to get this cleaned up. Donnie Ellington had a number of crew there with equipment to get this stuff cleaned up. It seems as though money blinds everybody. No offense to any of y'all, it seems that it blinds the county, it blinds landowners. But I remember a while, about 2 or 3 years maybe, another citizen wanted to bring something into that very same road on Chisholm Trail that was going to help the fire department and police with money and funding. It was going to be an ATV park, and that was shut down because of traffic and everything. And as I said about money blinding people, the lady today was talking about at the end of the road has been approached by many people on that road, the highway department, the fire department, also to do something with her trees because it's blocking the sight distance on that road. An individual that was on that road actually pulled out in front of somebody, he pulled out in front of an ambulance because he could not see. So evidently she knew the solar farm was coming, and maybe if I cut these trees, I'm gonna get me some money. Because all of those other times when somebody's life was at stake, she wasn't interested in it. So I strongly advise you to, to look at this. It's too much money being spent in wrong places. Yes, $10,000 coming through the fire department. That'll buy 2 sets of turnout gear for an individual. 2. We have roughly 24 members on our fire department. It may buy a fan that we can get the smoke out of a building with.
Mr. Hudson, I believe your time.
Okay, but like I said, money blinds people because the first gentleman went by like 10, 15 minutes. But thank you. Y'all have a good night.
My name is Kim Cruz. I know most everybody in here. Been in Crystal Hill for 72 years. And I don't know a megawatt from a candlewatt. But I do know that I have my farm, the whole south side, from one end to the other, is a solar farm. The whole west side is a solar farm. It's just plain and simple. We don't want it. We don't need it. I don't need any electricity. If I did, I'd go to Lowe's and buy another service box, put it on the wall, and cut the switch on. These people right here, I gotta behave myself. They'll have a job somewhere with some telemarketer company, a Rainbow vacuum cleaner or something. They're pretty good. But I heard all that too, because my road to my farm goes through the middle of Crystal Hill Solar. And it promises this after, and I can't find them now. They gone. And everybody's already said what I want to say. We don't need it. But I don't know nothing about electricity and the county budget. I wasted my life in the woods. And this 700 acres that joins me is a 700-acre torture project for all the animals, all the fish, all the birds, all the mammals. I don't know how many I have seen in the last 3 years dead simply because they can't maneuver in these fences and gates and creeks. The creek that I played in, adolescent age on up for 20 years, the spawning for the fish was a wet, deep well. Now it's full of silt and mud. It's this much water on top of it. And when in the process of building this project was there, wasn't nothing compared to it except when we dropped the atom bomb on Japan. That's the only thing compared to it. And I've been offered bribes to not turn in as I go through the farm on my right of way. I've been offered bribes to not turn in the erosion problem. It's just, we just don't need it. It's no buffers and all that stuff won't work. If you ain't got nothing ugly, you don't need a buffer. It's just, everybody in here, these people didn't come out of a mental institution. They know what's going on. And these people right here know what's going on too. Big bucks. They get this thing together and they sell it to a big power company for $800 million or something. The power company gets to take it off for taxes. Who loses?
Mr. Cruz,
County loses.
thank you.
Please. Money is temporary. Mistake can last a lifetime.
How y'all doing? I'm Walter. Again, most things are Walter Johnson. Most everybody's already said everything that needed to be said. It's not your guys' backyard. It's our backyard. It's not y'all's backyard. It's our backyard. So I'm not going to continue to hash out what's already been hashed out and said over again. But some of you guys up here on the board probably feel like we matter. Some of you probably don't give a damn. But for me personally, I would like to know right here who all is here in the opposed of this. Who's opposed of it? Who's opposed of it? Majority here is opposed of it. So take majority is opposed. So
I understand. If you're supposed to public comment to the board.
people.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
My name's Jeremy Barksdale.
Barksdale, move your head here, please. Thank you.
Got a question. Any of y'all know how a solar farm electric utility work? Any of y'all know how that works? How you know? Have y'all ever been to a substation? Y'all know how loud these things are? How dangerous they are? How do you know? You shaking your head, you know, but how?
Please make comments. Please make your comments.
I'm saying, like, we don't want this here. I work in substations every day. I know the risk of these things. They're dangerous. I just built a brand new $400,000 house on Chisholm Trail, and I don't want this in my backyard. Would you want it in your backyard? Any of y'all? I work for the power company. I know how this works. I deal with these solar farms every day, day in and day out. I see the environmental impacts they leave behind. Like I said, these people come in from Richmond, wherever y'all come from, and y'all leave your mess behind. Like I said, I deal with it every day. I've been doing this for 15 years. I don't talk to you before.
Mr. Barksdale, please make comments.
So this solar farm is proposing 69 megawatts, correct? Why is it that they only produce electricity up to 20% then? They don't fully functionally operate at their full capacity. So we're gonna put something in our backyard that's not even fully functional. I just don't understand what, like I said, money's the root of all evil.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Braid, members of the Planning Commission. My question's on this new solar project. Oh, excuse me. My name's Jennifer Champion, and I live in Clover. I'm not in the Liberty community, but I have endured. We have one of the largest saturation of solar in the county. My question is, what incentives is the county offering to CEP Solar to bring this new project to the county?
And will we, as residents of the county, reap the benefits of the $12,000 per acre to be assessed on the property being used for the solar project? Mr. Riddle, no disrespect, it was before your time, but I'm going to use Water Strider as an example.
Yes, ma'am.
Water Strider is now assessed at $16 million. Taxed on residential real estate tax, that's an estimate of $392,000 a year. With that project and other projects in the area, what is happening with the amount of money being generated with real estate tax assessed at the $12,000 per acre for Water Strider, Rogers Chapel, Wadlington, Crystal Hill, Alton Post Office, 360 Solar, Martin Trail, Grubby Road, Knollwood, as well as I believe 4 others being developed in the area planning for 2029 to 2032, excuse me. What out of those projects, the developers and the builders are making money, but we as the property owners are seeing nothing more but yet another tax increase. Most community members are not familiar with the difference between community solar and industrial grade solar. There's a huge difference between these two projects. Halifax does not need industrial solar. We are already embracing a large number of community-based solar projects. Also, I believe the gentleman with CEP stated that the panel life of this project is 25 years. He also quoted that the industrial solar lease for this parcel or parcels was for 40 years. So with that being said, they are going to be paying for 15 years of a project that is generating no profit, generating no money with a lifespan of 25 years on a 40-year lease. 15 years, that project's going to be sitting there null and void. We're going to be getting a few hundred unknown people in our area. As in Clover, we get registered sex offenders, we have drug dealers in the trailer park, that's just temporary. What sense of security can we guarantee these people? Since Clover, we have no guarantee. We have the pay per day camper zone behind the old Clover school. I know what we're enduring in Clover with these people. And those yellow trucks that run up and down the road to service their little solar projects, they can't follow posted speed limits. And it's a huge challenge, not only to say what a challenge it'll be for the Amish that reside in the Liberty community. Thank you for your time.
Chase Mosley. I live in the community, member of the Liberty Fire Department, a hunting community. There's roughly, I believe, 9,000 acres of solar panels in the county. It's like 1% of the county is solar panels. Where do we draw the line? I mean, you're gonna draw it at 5%, 10%, 100% of the county? I know they said 69 megawatts. That's peak, correct? So that's like maybe a couple hours out of the day? Or is that sun up to sundown? Is that the 20%? I think your community's here. This is a community meeting. I think y'all need to listen to the people who voted for you and respectfully vote no.
Good evening. My name is Rich Paul. I live on Hodges Street, and the property that I live on borders this project. And I find it quite interesting that of the landowners, 80% of the landowners in this project don't even live in Virginia. Several of them live in Maryland. Some of them live in North Carolina. One of them lives in Nevada. Do you think they care what this project looks like to them? And to think that I just live in my house, I live outdoors. I'm all over the place back there. And one of my concerns, because I love to waterfowl hunt and I love seeing the waterfowl on my father-in-law's property, one of my many concerns, besides the fact of the lack of interest on these 80% of the people that own this property that don't live here, And even the, and I'll step back, even the people that do live in the county that own land in this project or proposed project, they don't live near it. They live on other streets. They live in town. So it doesn't affect them at all. They don't care. But also, this brown forward swamp covers 70 to 80 acres. What is the runoff going to do to that? Because solar panels and the land of the unarmed, I know that one of the projects, and I have some information, but because I worked in the power industry for 15 years, I've seen some of these projects built. They'll blend in Portland cement into the topsoil to help stabilize the soil. That's not going to absorb water. It's going to be all runoff into this swamp right here that has a lot of waterfowl on it. On the Palmer property right there, which is next door to where I live at, I was retrieving my dogs and I found a beaver swamp on that place, a beaver pond. Are they just going to bust that, destroy that natural water feature? That's not listed in a wildlife easement. So evidently, they're just going to destroy that. That's just some of my concerns. In California, there were some sites built near wetlands. And what they had happened there, they're finding dead waterfowl on these sites. And you can look this up. It's an article on PBS, in Southern California PBS. They were finding a lot of dead waterfowl on this project. And it's what they found, it was called the solar panels were having a lake effect. They saw the water shimmer. And that's what they see in the panels. And the waterfowl, they're finding them dead on that project. Those are my concerns. Thank you.
Anyone else speaking for or against?
Good evening, I think. Good evening, Chairman, members of the Planning Commission, Board of Supervisors, and residents. My name is Sandra Town, and I am a founder and a member of the board of the South Central Virginia Business Alliance. And I am here tonight in support of the CEP Solar Boxwood project. The SCVBA was formed with a simple mission to ensure that local workers, contractors, suppliers, businesses all have the opportunity to participate and benefit from major infrastructure investments taking place in our region. Over the past several years, we have seen firsthand the positive economic impact that utility-scale solar projects can have in Halifax County when developers make a commitment to engage local businesses and workers. Two excellent examples are the Clover Creek and Piney Creek solar projects. Through those projects, local companies and workers benefited from approximately $49.5 million. I brought spreadsheets to hand out. In economic activity, $27.5 million from Clover Creek and $22 million from Piney Creek. Those dollars flowed into our community through construction services, trucking, equipment rentals, site prep. These figures do not include secondary economic benefits such as hotels, restaurants, or other indirect expenditures. They represent only the direct participation of local workers and businesses on the projects themselves. The businesses that benefit were not large contractors. They included small family-owned companies, local tradespeople, suppliers throughout Halifax County and South Central Virginia. Those projects demonstrated that when local participation is encouraged and supported, the economic benefits extend far beyond the project fence line. The result is real jobs, real contracts, and real opportunities for local businesses. The CEP project represents another opportunity to build on that success. As a longstanding supporter of the South Central Virginia Business Alliance, CEP Solar has been a consistent partner in our efforts to connect local businesses, and workers with opportunities created by major infrastructure projects. Their commitment to local engagement and economic development will strengthen relationships between project developers and the communities in which they operate. As elected officials and appointed leaders, you are often asked to balance many competing interests when evaluating projects. One of the most important questions is whether a project will create meaningful economic opportunities for the citizens of
I'll let everybody wrap up, sir. You are the order, please. Be quiet.
Based on our experience with previous projects, the answer is yes. Projects such as Boxwood can help strengthen our local economy,
That's enough.
expand opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Blake Hall. I'm here representing my mom, Elizabeth Hall. She could not be here today. We've owned this property for the past 23 years. It's currently a pine farm that generates revenue every 25 years or so. My mom is on a fixed income. My father passed away on 2020. It's been hard for us to keep this in the family, and this gives us an opportunity to keep this land in our family for years to come. Not only does it do that, we have heard about the local community. I've heard teachers up here speaking. I've heard volunteer fire departments up here speaking. There is revenue generated to the county for this project that will go back to the citizens of the county. It helps build schools. It helps build fire station. It helps with the infrastructure needed to support this community. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, and I look forward for the vote of a yes for this project. So thank you.
My name is Brandon Stovall. I'm the owner of property on Chislom Trail. I'm asking the planning board to recommend approval for the Boxwood project. There are a few reasons for it. First, it can continue to be used for agricultural, whether it's grazing of sheep or bees. It doesn't have to be solar only. Secondly, it's going to help reduce the dependency on fossil fuels in the short term and long term. We've seen recently what the spike in fuel costs has done to everybody. Thirdly, location's ideal. It is down a dead end road and the major transmission lines go through my property. So nothing new would have to be added. And lastly, I can continue to own the property and hand it down to my family, my daughter, and they will be able to continue to own this as long as they like. Thank you for your consideration.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Romack. My family and I operate AgriSolar Ranch. We farm in Halifax, Charlotte, and Appomattox. In addition to farming, we maintain solar facilities with livestock and mowers depending on the site needs. We work across the state from Halifax to Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm here as a local business to give our support for this project. Each solar facility established in our county supports our local economy through potential livestock opportunities and mowing contracts. Local revenue is generated post-construction in the O&M operation, from landscape companies buying equipment and parts from the local dealers and hiring operators, to the feed stores, sale barns, vets, and staff being supported from livestock grazed on site. Reading through the proposal, our viewpoint is CEP Solar has done an outstanding job integrating this facility into our community. We welcome these projects as they bring economic opportunities for local businesses and ranchers when agrivoltaics is implemented. Thank you for your time and have a good evening.
My name is Detra Carr, and I'm a resident of Halifax County. I am not a vested interest or financial interest in this project. However, I do support it. I am more concerned with an incident that took place here on your March meeting. I was approached on the outside, asked did I have any interest in this project, and I'd say no, other than it was my family estate, but I do not own any of the property. And that individual was Mr. your Commissioner Hodges, Hughes, approached me and said to me, I'm not going to support your project or that project down there because your family did not support mine, which he was referring to uh, the having the park down there for the ATVs. Uh, Not only did he approach me, but then he also approached one of the county employees with the same information. That is absolutely wrong. Uh, each one of these projects should be looked at on its own merit. We should have no personal interest in something like that. You know, the project should stand on its own merit. So I ask that you all make sure that this doesn't happen in any of your endeavors. And that's quoted. It's quoted that you didn't support my project, I'm not going to support yours. Uh, so that is not right coming from an appointed official by the Board of Supervisors, whether the project passes or projects fail. That is absolutely wrong. And I ask that the commissioners consider that, as well as the Board of Supervisors, to make sure that does not happen. Uh, that's not the way we transact business. We all have our opinions, and the people have spoke against it or what are you for it, but that should not happen. Should not happen. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dylan Taylor, and I represent Energy Right, an educational nonprofit engaging with localities on energy development across the state. Solar represents critical energy infrastructure that helps Virginia's rapidly growing electricity demand. Small scale, large scale, rooftop, or balcony, all types and sizes are important pieces of the puzzle. As energy needs increase, a robust energy strategy is needed, and solar remains the quickest deployable source of new generation available today. Unlike many other generation sources that can take years or decades to permit and construct, these can be brought on rather quickly, helping address near-term reliability needs, while longer-term infrastructure continues to develop. These projects add much needed capacity to the grid, improves system resilience, and support the broader goal of bringing reliable electricity to homes, businesses, and industry. And it can be added in half the time as other projects. From a land use perspective, solar projects must adhere to strict state and local policies, and Halifax County has a very robust local ordinance. And it also allows allowing land to remain in productive use without creating major demands on roads, schools, public safety, and other county services. Myself and the Energy Right team are more than happy to be a resource to the county staff and its residents. Thank you for letting me speak tonight.
Hello, thank y'all for having me. Can you hear me? Good. My name's Amber Frazier, and I'm just here to remind you guys that what we have in this county, Halifax County, that sets us apart from any other place or county in Virginia, is the beauty that we have within our land and our nature. And I don't have any monetary gain in this, but the idea that we keep speaking on the economical aspects of it while stripping away the environmental components that are needed in order to have an economy is completely baffling to me. And I just want to say that for the sake of the children, people, everyone living in this county, and people that won't be benefiting from it, we love the land. We have grown up in this area where people who have began to steer away from what is important ultimately. The money that could be gained from this is going to be long gone, and the impacts of what the solar panels or solar farms can do can be, we don't know for how long. It could be forever. It's led to lead leaching into the soil, and we are a cash crop state. Like Virginia was founded on cash crops, not on data centers and these big environmental impactful, negatively impacting propositions for money that is never seen. We're only gonna get what, 55% of the income that we're giving to them? Like, we're told that our benefit from this is our own tax dollars will be received and used in our county for once. To me, that doesn't sound like an even feasible gain. It sounds like it's stripping away our environment, what we have that makes this county as beautiful and a home and wholesome as it is the land that we have within it and the community and it living on it. I don't see how in any way this is helping anybody from generations to come. How will we ever grow anything back on that property? And that thought probably hasn't even been thought of yet because it's now. Everybody's worried about now, the money now. And ultimately, the money, the economic impact, it cannot be substantial enough to excuse the environmental impact. And that's all I would like to say. Thank you. Clearly, I'm not for it.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ricky Carr. I would like to speak on support of the project. I have no interest in the project. And I feel for the people who have personal feelings about how it may affect them in their personal lives. I can appreciate that. However, I'm a safety-minded, oriented person. These projects are completely manageable. They are completely safe, and they are completely predictable. From what I hear from CEP Solar is they have all the mechanisms in place to produce a well orchestrated, safety protected project. And I'm here to speak on that. Myself, I've been in solar construction for over 15 years. I have 10 plus years dedicated to solar safety. I know the ins, the outs of how to build these projects. I know that the county, the landowners, even the families that will be impacted by this, they will benefit from this. And with that, I just want to say again, please consider approving this project.
Is anyone else want to speak on the project? Seeing no one approach the mic, we will close the public hearing.
Chair Grouse, we do like to have a couple on record that we got letters. They asked to be named to go on record. So Ms. Camp will read those in supporting our position.
In support was Deborah Griles, Rhino Volunteer Fire Department, Avante Carr, Francis A. Birch, Teresa L. Birch, Simon Jones, Charlie Palmer, Elizabeth Hall, Marvin P. Carr Jr., Harry Carr, John Ambrose, Cheryl K. Tice, and one opposition was Norma Roadcap.
We just want to have those on record.
Well, with that, the Board of Supervisors closes that public hearing.
That's up to them. It's up to them. Yeah, it's up to them. It's up to them.
Chair Grouse, normally we allow the rebuttal when we come back before our vote. So we close the public hearing and allow them to come back before we have the discussion.
Now or when we finish the rest of it.
So we can go through the two other public hearings, and then when we come back for discussion, you can have them come back for the vote.
Okay, we'll do it that way. Okay, the next item is the proposed solar facility siting agreement with Boxwood Solar. And Mr. Easley, would you like to
Well, that's page 88.
Sure. So Chair, you have heard a lot of discussion tonight on the revenue part of this solar project. So this project being a utility scale solar, it allows the locality to enter into a siting agreement. In which the siting agreement allows voluntary payment along with the real estate taxes for the project. And also, CEP Solar has agreed to give $184,000 towards a CIP project, which is Emmons Park playground equipment, along with $10,000 to the Liberty Fire Department. So within this lease agreement, siting agreement, the county would get $25,000 per megawatt AC for the 69 megawatt, along with the voluntary payments. So roughly, we'd have 1.7 million in revenue for the county for the life of the project, along with the taxes separate from the payment structure. So this public hearing is to accept the conditions within the site agreement, pending approval of the land use application.
Okay, and Foxwood Solar, would you like to make some comments on the facility siting agreement?
Yeah, hi, thank you, chairs. I just briefly that solar siting, agreements are, something that's statutorily allowed by the state. We've, worked carefully and hard over the last few months with Mr. Easley to, craft an ordinance with the county attorney that we think is fair and certainly is based on previous siting agreements that the county has entered into with other solar developers. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Thank you.
Okay. With that, the Board of Supervisors opens a public hearing for the proposed solar facility siting agreement, Boxwood Solar LLC.
And the planning commission would open the public hearing also. So now we're open for public comment.
All right, coming back. All right, so, Dietrich was saying that, there was some people that wrote letters of support and whatnot. I believe there's also a petition floating around somewhere. It's got a lot of opposed names on it.
I'm sorry, I don't recall your name again, please.
Walter Johnson.
Thank you.
Just here 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm just here.
Money that we got all kinds of stuff. A few other comments that was made about safety and stuff like that. I mean, it's safe. How safe is it? How can these safety measures that you have in place for this really stop these workers from hitting one of these cars with our kids in, or killing our parents, or killing us? How do you stop that? You don't stop it. I don't care how much safety you got in place when you're sitting in Richmond somewhere. There's no safety there. As far as panels being safe, Mr. Carr, I believe you guys should be aware of the fires that just took place at a solar farm. Burn up acres. How's that safe? When it gets out, and burns up neighboring land. How's that safe? It's not safe.
Mr. Johnson, yeah, this public hearing is in reference to the siting agreement, and that's what the comment should be directed toward.
Yeah, I got a problem with the site agreement. It's not safe. I mean, what do you mean?
Okay. It was basically siting agreement is the financial incentives that the county will receive.
Oh, we want to talk about the money part of it. Oh, so we want to talk about the county getting all the money, the community getting none of it. Our taxes going up, light bills going up, but the county's going to make, what'd you say? $1.7 million a year, yearly? Where's that coming to us? How's that going to help us? I believe you are getting ready to have a meeting or hearing about raising taxes again, right? Or just had it, supposed to have it. Oh, that's right. You decided not to have it. but you were going to. Right. So again, it's not benefiting us. Since you want to talk about the financial part of it, it's going to the county, which can't seem to, even know how much money you got. You're losing money, forgetting you got money. But yeah, let's just give all this money to the county.
I know most of you hate it when I stand up here, but my name's Jennifer Champion and I'm from Clover. I have a question for Mr. Easley. The incentives that were written for this project with CEP in the county, what other transactions were based on that? What other projects were considered? What else was considered besides Edmonds Park and Liberty Volunteer Fire Department? And they deserve more than that little bit of money that's getting thrown at them for a bribe. They deserve more than that. So I want to know what other projects were considered. Because I come to these meetings every month. I get the same speech every month. What we need somebody to throw some money into a pool. These kids need something to do. This little bit of money we're throwing at Edmonds Park is nothing. Stanton River State Pool has been there all these years. We can't get the county nor anybody else to give these kids a pool. So I want to know what other incentives were presented besides Edmonds Park and the fire department, which the fire department is fully deserving of every penny they get. What other incentives were presented? Was there a park or a pool presented for the kids? Were there any funding proposals for youth programs for the summer? I know, Mr. Roller, I know you get tired of listening to me, and I'm sorry, but I want to know about this incentives.
Well, let me, is it appropriate for me to explain it? Okay. We are regulated by state code on how we can spend this money. And I think 50% of the siting agreement has to go to capital improvements. And then the other 50% can go to, other needs in the county. And basically the 24/7 EMS services that we are providing out of North Halifax Volunteer Fire Department is happening because of siting money. So that's going back to directly help the community. But this money will be used to help individuals in EMS. This past year, we talked about the fire department, so we increased the donations to all fire departments. It used to be $25,000 a year for 4 rotated. We give it to every fire department this year. So
But we also decreased the food pantries. But my question is, and specifically, why can't we give the kids a pool? I know you're tired of hearing me, and I know you get tired of seeing me. I fully understand that, and I'm good with it. But you hear these people, these residents that have been in this community all their life, and we used to have all these things for kids to do. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to run from one solar farm to another? Or they're going to sit in front of the TV and think that you get a new life in 5 minutes because all they've ever done is play a video game. We need something if we're going to give this. And I know my time's up and you're going to put me out. But we need something for the kids.
Chair, can I answer Ms. Champion question? Yeah. So to answer your question, we provided CEP a long list of recurring CIP projects for the county, FY 26 and 27. So CEP Solar chose one of our CIP list to donate to. The Liberty Fire Department negotiation was totally out of the county hands. They've done that separately on their own.
And they fully deserve that money. They deserve every penny of that and more.
So that negotiation was not done at all by any county department. We provided a list of CIP projects, and they chose one from our list.
Thank you.
So my name is Shelley again, and I guess I have a question rather than a comment. But looking at the zoning aspect of it, and maybe this is a Dietrich question. Right now, it's something in place where it's like within a 5-mile radius. Can you explain that a little bit to me? Because I'm just a little bit confused. So sitting to the right of me is the Crystal Hill Solar Farm, and it is very much less than 5 miles to this proposed solar farm. So can I just get a little bit of clarification on that?
Short story. So 5 miles, we take the point of this proposed project, the center point, we draw a 5-mile radius circle. Crystal Hill does encompass within this 5-mile radius. We allow 3% of solar acreage in a 5-mile radius, which gives you roughly 2,500 acres of panels. So this project did not oversee that 2,500 maximum within that 5-mile radius. So they met the density requirement for this project. It's 900 acres, but we take the acres that's on the panel.
From center point to center point, or just from center point
So we get a center point from the post, from CEP Solar Project. We draw that 5-mile radius circle. Crystal Hill does get some of their land within that 5-mile radius. But that 2,500 did not oversee with Crystal Hill and this boxwood project. So they met the density requirements.
Nothing against you. I know that, Dietrich. I know you did your job. I just wanted a little bit of clarification on how that worked, because where I'm currently sitting, I'm gonna have 2 solar farms. You know what I'm saying? Like within that same 5-mile radius, and it just seems to me that it's just really close and a little bit of overkill with this next proposed
Not to
one.
take it further, but the state is taking that away. The state is making us to take that out of our ordinance completely. So the state is taking.
I have read that, and I do understand that. I just feel like that we should wait until the state does that and just. I mean, we shouldn't just give in that easy. So, but thank you, I appreciate it.
And again, this public comment is on the siting agreement. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I know they got me listed first to close it, but I'd be glad for you two. That's the norm.
That's fine. Seeing no one else approach the mic, the planning commission will close the public hearing at this time.
Okay. And the board of supervisors closes the public hearing at this time. Okay. The next item on the agenda is battery energy storage facilities, proposed amendment to zoning ordinance. Page 109 through 115 in the agenda. And zoning administrator overview.
I'll be very short, Mr. Chair. I'm scared you bring this up, but this is a new ordinance to allow battery energy storage as an accessory use to an existing solar site and a standalone principal use for battery energy storage. So this is a new ordinance put in place with the same criteria solar, setbacks, buffers, fire protection. As we know, when we had a presentation from Dominion, some board members questioned the fire protection. You know, these battery storage, so we do have some protection for fire suppression. So this ordinance will allow battery energy storage as an accessory use on an existing solar site and also as a standalone use for a new site. And you have the ordinance in your package that I hope you have read through, and be glad to answer any questions before the public hearing.
Any of the board of supervisors have any questions regarding the battery energy storage ordinance?
Ms. Reesley, what's the difference in small scale and industrial scale in this ordinance right here?
So there is none.
Huh?
There is none. There's no, so.
It's by right if you own it and operate it.
So if you have an existing solar site and you want to add battery storage, that still comes through the board as a land use application.
Okay.
So it's not permitted by right because you have an existing solar site. That's why we put this in place.
So
before
you
July
have to
1.
meet these ordinance requirements to have it.
Correct. So the state is permitted by right because we don't have an ordinance in place by July 1. That's why we are fast tracking this so we don't lose our control for our setbacks, buffering, and so forth.
Conditional use, yeah, very good. Good explanation.
So it seems like that's important.
It is.
That we have our own ordinance.
Yeah.
So that somebody else can't come in here and tell us how we're gonna do this.
That's correct.
Okay.
So if we get this ordinance in place before July 1st, they have to abide by our ordinance, and we can still go in if we see where we need massage change, we can adjust.
Sure,
So we see
you
need.
have the same process as tonight for a solar,
Yeah.
as you would battery energy storage. Same process, public hearings, same notification as solar.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, the Board of Supervisors opens the public hearing for the proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance for battery energy storage facilities.
The planning commission would like to open the public hearing also. We're now open for public comment on the battery storage energy facilities. Seeing no one approach the mic, the planning commission would close the public hearing.
The Board of Supervisors close the public hearing. The next thing is the planning condition items on the agenda.
The planning commission at this time would like to entertain a motion to approve our minutes from May the 19th. Do I have a motion? So moved. Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pierce. I didn't hear you second, Ms. Smith?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, Ms. Smith Magnum seconded, so all in favor of approving those minutes, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? The minutes from previous meeting are approved. This time, the planning commission will open up discussion and recommendation. The first item, which is gonna be, if you look in your program, it's gonna be, or in your packet, it's pages 134 to 140.
And Chair Ross, I take this review just confirming that the project meets our comprehensive plan. The parcel of zone A1 agricultural, and so this 2232 just required by state law to conduct a review. So you have three motions to consider on page 140, to approve, to deny, or to delay the vote. Or send back for more review. So page 140 provides those three motions.
So everybody would send to 140. We're looking for one of those motions to come to the commission. Yeah, I'll get to 140. Which means you on 140. Yes, I am. This is in your district. You like to. Without looking for the pages on the box with photo. Yes.
Just making a few comments. I was actually on this board because of my community involvement to the Liberty and the northern part of the county. Been involved with a lot of stuff within the county in the northern part. With all the people that's sitting here tonight, I probably knew 95% of those. And those are my neighbors, such as you must have called. Those are my family. And that concerns means a lot to me. And you sit here and look what money does to a family or community in a county. this undertaking. And just to approach a few things, a few comments that was made, so I have the right to do that. Mr. Carr was partially right. We left a meeting here. I asked him what involvement did he have in that Boxwood Solar. Because it's on the family, because the Carr estate is in the Boxwood Solar. But where it gets real tricky is the money his family's looking to get off of it for him to come up and tell me that I was lying of what I asked him after the fact. Trying to keep us professional. That was completely incorrect. So his credibility is really degraded. I'm trying to put a low blow of trying to tell a board member what he might have said to him. And I'm very surprised in him. But when it comes to money, doesn't anything surprise me at all. You know, he's in reference to an ATV park that I was trying to get a CEP for in 2021 on the exact same land that these solar farms are being put on. And Mr. Carr, along with other people in the community, spoke on the safety, the road conditions, the environment, the noise level that this ATV park was going to bring to the community. And when I looked at the people in the community that was against it, being as I live in the community, it didn't hurt my feelings because if my community didn't want it, then I didn't want it either. Even though I was trying to start it. But, so I asked myself, what changed? What brought up a change that most of the community was against? An ATV park on the same land to put in solar. And the ATV park was not going to clear no trees. It was going to bring revenue into the county. And it was not going to produce as much traffic as this is going to produce. But with that being said, Mr. Carr spoke, and I had the minutes here from the meetings in front of me on how important the land was to him. It was important until the money got to switching hands and going in his pocket. Y'all with me? It was important to him until the money changed hands. But I didn't let that deter me because my community didn't want it, and I didn't want it either. Because everyone sitting here tonight, I know them in some shape or form. I gotta look at them every day when I leave this meeting, either in church, either in the fire department, the county store. Every place that I go, I'm gonna see those people that were sitting here tonight. And I gotta look them in the eye and explain to them while I run the family farm, what reason did I have other than money to destroy what they have? Because money is what brought us here today. Money is what brought Mr. Carr to make his comments. The second part of your comment was a lie. But with that being said, try not to take it personal, because I didn't take it personal then. But I have to sit here and look at those people that you guys want to look at. Most of the landowners here in this Mr. Hall does not live in the community. He's not gonna have to look at everybody like I'm gonna have to look at him every day. So with that being said, I make a motion to not recommend the Boxwood Solar to the Board of Supervisors.
And what we really need is one of those motions off of page 140, which is more like, relates to the comprehensive plan and how it, whether you actually for it or against it.
So, Mr. Hughes, this motion is just confirming that it meets the comprehensive plan, it's not voting.
That's
on the
correct.
application, just the comprehensive plan.
So I move to approve the comprehensive plan for the Boxwood Solar.
So you, that's number one, right?
That's correct.
Is there a second? Is there any more discussion on this item? All in favor of the, motion that was made and second, that was made by Mr. Carr, second by Mr. Watts. I'll just read that motion. It says, I move pursuant to Virginia 15.2-2232A that the Halifax County Planning Commission find that the general location or approximate location, character, and extent of this proposed CEP Boxwood Solar Project, parcel number 24-705, 16-194, 23-133, 87-46, 105-14, 134-85, 60-53, 17-266, 19-138, oh gosh, I know what's in there. 148-81, 83-62, 83-22, and 83-68 are substantially in accord with the adopted Halifax County Plan and Comprehensive Plan. All in favor of that, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That motion carried. And then we need the second one too, correct? The one right below that, Andy, if you wanted to make that one.
Okay, this, just to clarify, this motion here just approving.
Chair, I was offered a rebuttal before.
So we have rebuttal before we vote on the application. This is just for the 2232.
Yeah, all this second motion does, Andy, is tell the zoning administrator to communicate what the first one was to the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
And the state says we have to do these things.
So I make a motion that we approve, or make a motion that we submit in accordance with the pursuant zoning to Board of Supervisors.
Is there a second?
I'll second again.
So Mr. Hughes made that motion and Mr. Watts seconded. And all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That motion carried. Now we move to the,
So now we can have CEP come back and rebuttal and answer any questions that the commission may have.
if you're following along in the agenda, we're on, the second agenda, second item on the agenda. You guys have to come up.
Thank you, Chair Riles, Chair Roller. There's been a lot of comments, talk about money. Yes, we would stand to profit from a project like this. It's American way, right? Don't having a business. But the reason that we're here, big reason that we're here is because the county created a set of guidelines that they then made even more stringent a couple years ago, a roadmap, if you will, to say, hey, if you want to develop a solar project in our county, here's the 40 conditions and the solar ordinance that you have to abide by. Our project meets all those requirements. Some people have expressed concerns about solar project that we've proposed based on their experience with other solar projects that they've referenced in the county. I appreciate their thoughts and feedback, and in a lot of ways, I don't blame them. I've seen some of those solar projects. They're not there's not good vegetative buffers, visual buffers. That's why you guys strengthened your ordinance that we are going to abide by, that we have to put in place. And this is a great project area because it is so remote. It is well hidden. For the folks that have been out to that site, you know that to be true. There's a lot of mature vegetation around that site. There's very few places that we may have to put in some supplemental vegetation. A number of people were talking about, this is in my backyard. Project's not really in people's backyards. There's 4 houses. I was just out there today. There's 4 houses on Chisholm Trail from the point that our land on Chisholm Trail starts to where it terminates right before the end of Chisholm Trail. 3 of those houses are owned by the cars that they have. 1 is for a rental property, not even vacant. 4. So this is not a project that's going to be seen from people's bay windows, and people will be driving up and down the road and seeing open expanses of land with solar panels on them. Yes, there will be approximately 12 months worth of construction, and that is an inconvenience. We recognize that. We've reached out to everybody that owns a home on Chisholm Trail and Hodges Street to say, you know what? We recognize that there will be increased activity out there. We will operate safely and carefully. We've even offered people some compensation, some modest compensation for their inconvenience during that period, and offered driveway signs so that it's clear that there's people's private driveways out there. So we are sensitive to that. A number of people commented about the roads, and again, I'm not sure. I can't speak to what if this condition was in other projects permits or not, but the county has a really robust road maintenance requirement now. We have to videotape the roads in their current condition, submit that to the county. We have to maintain those roads during construction, and then we have to video them again after construction. And if there's anything that was attributed to construction, we have to repair. Those are requirements, and we will do that. A lot of folks talked about property rights. People are absent landowners, they're not there, they don't live there. But you know what? These folks have property rights too. They've owned that land for many years. They've been paying taxes to this county for many years. And if there's an opportunity to have something on their land that's not having a negative impact to their neighbors, they should have the right to do that, as long as they're following the rules that the county guidelines have set forth. Solar is going to operate, I guarantee you, a lot quieter than ATVs, guns, lawnmowers, chainsaws, all the things that happen in a rural community. Solar will be far quieter than all those things. A couple of people commented, including the fire chief of the Liberty Fire Department, about the small sum of money that we've offered to them. We thought that this was a really nice gesture. when I met with one of the gentlemen there and the assistant fire chief, they were thrilled to hear about that. Now we're hearing, gosh, that's paltry. Okay. We're open to having more conversations with the Liberty Road Fire Department to see how we could meet their needs. We're open to that. But we also recognize that the taxes that we're paying, the voluntary payments that we're making, that goes into the county, and the county is giving money to firehouses. So we also recognize that that's a stream of money that goes to firehouses. But we certainly don't want to be thought of as cheap. That wasn't our goal, to try to like give a few dollars to the fire department. We really thought, hey, this is a long-term partner of ours. We'd like to do something for you. And it was really well received when we offered it. So I am surprised to hear that, but we'd be happy to meet with them and talk some more. I also want to clarify some of the dollars, since there's so much discussion of dollars. First off, we are receiving no county incentives. There's no county incentives coming to us. The county is not investing in any infrastructure or upgraded roads, water, sewer, none of that. Over the life of the project, it's about $9.4 million that'll come to the county. Out of that, that equates to about $192,500 annually, and out of that is the $1.74 million in voluntary payments, as well as the fire department and the Edmonds Park. The other concern that I wanted to address that I've heard from the folks here, and I think it's fair, is what about water the stormwater management, runoff onto properties. And so I'd like to ask Jillian from Timmins, who is an engineer, to come up to speak to stormwater management and how robust that is under the new state regulations.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Jillian Stickley with Timmins Group. I work with our engineering team on stormwater design for these sites. And our responsibility as an engineer is to design to protect downstream water quality for both the construction duration and the entire lifetime of the project. We design erosion sediment control measures to prevent soil from leaving the project during construction, and develop stormwater management systems that reduce runoff and remove pollutants before water leaves the site. And that's through grading, stabilization, analysis, and best management practices. The 2024 updates to the DEQ regulations require greater consideration throughout our design, and they significantly reduce risk of off-site sedimentation, flooding, drainage impacts, and environmental degradation. The moral of the story is that we have to design these sites so that we don't increase water quantity or decrease water quality. And the regulations that we're required to adhere to are much more stringent than they have been in the past. So some of these issues that you've seen with past sites, we're held to a much higher standard today than we have been in the past, which is great for the county and for all future projects to make sure we aren't harming any of these water systems. Thank you.
That's all I wanted to share. I thank you so much. I guess just one last thing. I just want to make it abundantly clear. Mr. Carr, he is not participating in this project. He is not getting any financial benefit in this project. I just wanted to make that abundantly clear. Thank you.
So now we're, I'm pretty sure I know where Mr. Pierce is. I think we should wait a minute, Mr. Briscoe. Don't you think so?
Say again, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Pierce, I think for the bathroom
Okay.
break, I think we should wait for him to return.
Thank you, sir. I think Mr. Little and. No, that's good.
Is there any more discussion among the planning commission? Hearing none. I believe this vote takes place on, with the options on page 25. Is that correct, Mr.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So, Andy, if you want to take a look at page 25. One of those three options there. I know it's hard to find.
I make a motion for option 2. I move to recommend to the Board of Supervisors that Boswell Solar LLC conditional use permit for the purpose of the proposed 69 megawatt solar energy generation facility as presented to be denied.
Mr. Hughes made a motion to deny this permit. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Pierce, second that motion. Hearing no further discussion, I think we need a roll call vote on this one.
I would agree.
Commissioner Hughes,
What was it, ma'am?
So a yes vote would agree with denial, a no vote would be against the motion.
Yes.
Chair Charles,
No.
Commissioner Pierce,
Yes.
Vice Chair. Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Wimbish,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Mangum. Yes.
So the, motion to deny passed, correct?
Yes, it's passed.
Okay. So with that in mind, do we need to go to the other?
So motion passes 5-1. So that motion passes, that's the recommendation to the board to deny the application.
Right, well, okay. But is it any need for us to go to, the, citing agreement?
It is, yes, sir. We need to send both recommendations to the board.
Okay. So now we're looking on page 9 of your packet. There are also 3 options on there. Richard, if you don't mind, maybe you could explain the citing, agreement so we know exactly what we're voting on here.
So this site agreement, would approve the volunteer payment structure and also the cash payment structure to the county and the fire department. So this will be just a structure of the payment agreements for the life of the project.
If it's approved, just talking about the money.
And this, it is pending approval from the board. Project denied, the site agreement goes away. So this is just agreeing to the site agreement pending board approval. And this does before our plan commission action.
But if we were to not approve this, the board approved the project, then we need the money.
So the board ultimately can approve both. They can approve the application along with the site.
Okay. All right. Okay, this one is just concerning the money, if the, project, does go through.
Okay, I move to recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of the solar facility seating agreement between Halifax County Board and Boswell Solar LLC as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
You second, Mr. Wimbish?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we can't vote if we.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Hughes made the motion, to recommend to the board the approved, citing agreement, and Mr. Wimbish second that. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in, do we need a roll call on that? We need a
Yes,
roll
sir.
call, vote.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Chair Grimes,
Yes.
Commissioner Pierce,
Yes.
Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Wimbish.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Mangum.
Yes.
So that motion passes to recommend the citing agreement, to the board. With that, we'll go to our next item, which is number 4. You'll find that on page 110 of your packet. If you look on 110, there again, there are 3 different options. This particular ordinance is, this is county-wide ordinance, so it's not for one particular district, so anybody on the board that would want to make that motion, whichever way you want to go, one of those 3 options on page 110, the floor is open for that at this time. Floor's open for a motion. One of those 3.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, that's option 1. Motion made by, Mr. Watts, is there a second?
I second it.
Mr. Wimbish, second that motion. Is there any more discussion? I believe we need a roll call on that one also.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Chair Grimes,
Yes.
Commissioner Pierce,
Yes.
Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Wimbish.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Mangum.
Yes.
So that passed, we will recommend that on to the board, as the motion is made. Seeing no more business before the planning commission, I believe a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Second. There's a motion to adjourn by Mr. Wimbish and second by Mr. Hughes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you all. Okay. We'll take 5 minutes. I got you, understand. Put it on that bathroom break there somewhere.
Really? You got to have, if something that's long, you got to have recess.
I had to put it in there, I didn't have no option.
I'm going the same way.
Yeah. I'm the oldest one here.
You probably could. Next one's on the back row.
I remember she.
No, get some defense for all y'all old people.
I think some piping would help. We can't do that.
That was.
Good for the ladies.
Yes. Atlanta's beach ball. Oh, that's the second time after.
We must have liked it so much, we put it down again. You did good, so we might put you down for a third time.
So you're junior tech?
Yes, well, I'm rising senior. Rising senior.
Rising senior?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did junior, so I.
You'll take me too. Changed a lot. They have a lot more stringent stuff to do than yours. I did, okay, years.
I'm not gonna talk about it.
It's page 142 through 153.
Good evening, everyone. This has been before you before. There is no change from the June 1st, both public hearing and the advertisement that preceded that. These are appropriation items that have been, with the exception of two, to the board at meetings throughout the year. That's noted in your packet material. There were discussions, they're minuted and so forth. The two new items, one is from schools for some grant money that came late in the year, and that is detailed as well. And then the other is a carry forward of unspent, what I call sheriff vehicle equipment money, given the struggles of any dealership to deliver in a fiscal year. Often that is not the case, and so it has been, as I understand, common practice, it certainly is in other jurisdictions, to carry forward those unspent funds so that they may fulfill purchase orders and the reason for which they were budgeted in the first place. That is what we have before you, and I would ask that the resolution 2026-22 be approved so that these items will formally be appropriated and incorporated into the fiscal 2026 budget.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion, this board approve, resolution 2026-22 to approve the budget amendments that have been documented throughout the proceeding here.
Second. Okay, there's been motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Oaks to approve resolution 2026-22, which is a budget amendment and appropriation for fiscal year 2025 through 26, Halifax County, Virginia. Any discussion from any board members? Okay. Okay, if none, this would be, we need a roll call on this, something.
Yes, roll call.
I mean, yeah.
I think so.
Roll call, please.
So what's the exact motion, Mr. Chairman?
The motion is to approve the budget amendment and appropriation for fiscal year 25-26 for the county, and it was basically items that will flow through and stuff in the school system. There's some things that we had approved as a board that never had been appropriated properly.
So this is from last year,
Yes.
not the upcoming fiscal year.
Yeah, this is last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the one we just voted on last time, but
No.
last year.
No, this is last year.
This is last year's budget.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this cleans up last year's
It's the
budget.
current year's budget.
Current year.
Yeah,
We're in.
yeah.
Yeah.
before we
Ends in
go
2
to the-
weeks.
Yeah, not that.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Supervisor Riddle,
Yes.
Chair Roller,
Yes.
Supervisor Oaks.
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smart,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson,
Yes.
Supervisor McDowell, Supervisor Claiborne.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next item is Berkeley Group overview of engagement regarding forensic audit, page 154.
So just to kind of start this off, so the board is aware that we engaged the Berkeley Group to assist county administration with the responses and addressing a number of the findings from the forensic audit. And so we have Drew Williams and Nelsie Birch, both from the Berkeley Group, to first provide an overview of their engagement, supporting our response to the forensic audit, and then secondly, to provide a status briefing. And I do anticipate that as we go forward, we will get additional status briefings, but this will be the first one in addition to the overall overview of their engagement with the county.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. It's great to be here with you tonight. My name is Drew Williams. I'm the CEO of the Berkeley Group. No, it's been a long night, so we'll keep this fairly short for you all. Want to give just a brief overview of the work we've been doing since we began work, really in April, working with your team. You've got a great staff, and we've been working with really a few things. First is to do a financial assessment of the finance department. And then we've also been working on a number of policies. I'm going to turn over to Nelsie Birch. She's our director of public finance, and she's going to walk us through and give you a brief update.
Hi, good evening. I'll try to be lively. When we talk about finance, sometimes it's hard to be lively. Again, Nelsie Birch. I'm the director of public finance for the Berkeley Group. I'm also leading this effort for the Berkeley Group. So we've got a few engagements with the county, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I don't have a lot to present to you this evening because we just began our work, but we felt it was really important for you all to see us and see who's helping remediate some of the findings that were found in the forensic audit, and also reestablish that trust with both you all and the public on how the county is securing its internal operations. So with that, let me get comfortable with this. I'm going to turn to the PowerPoint. We love a PowerPoint, and I might think I already messed that up. Does that mean Nancy? Hopefully not. There we go. So as you are all very well aware, there was a forensic audit done by another company called the Premier Group. We are not the Premier Group. We did not provide this forensic audit look. However, we have been engaged to do what Drew had just mentioned. Really look at the underpinning of your financial operations and understand what's going on with respect to staff capacity, processes, procedures. Many of the things that you all spent a lot of time understanding were deficiencies as it related to the forensic audit. And then what we do is we use that information to do a policy review. So we're working on your financial policies, HR policies, human resources policies, and your information technology policies. So these are the 4 areas that we are focused on right now. We kicked off this effort just a little bit over a month ago. We have 120 days to complete this effort. So you'll see us again several times. And one of them will be at the end of our analysis and assessment period where we'll provide you the overall approach that we took, the efforts that we made, and then the policies for your consideration where the board will need to provide some guidance on the policies that we are proposing. So the way that we're looking at this, as you all know, there were 64 recommendations in the forensic audit. So what we've tried to do is put them in 6 work streams just to make it easier for us to talk about the work. And it makes it a little bit more relevant to how finance functions actually work. And so the way that we'll talk about this as we move forward with the board and with any of the updates that we provide you are these 6 work streams. I'm going to go over them really briefly. But what we have here is all of these are tied to the forensic audit. And so you'll see details when we provide you with physical updates of where we are with things. You'll see each of these work streams tied back to the forensic audit findings. And so the way that we're approaching this is looking at your payroll and time and attendance controls, your records management and document retention, your financial policies, the segregation of duties and internal controls, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about, training and compliance, which I'm also going to talk a little bit more about, and then some oversight and continuity of operations. So these are the 6 work streams that will present the information to you as we come back to the board. But right now, most importantly, my team and I are working on your assessment. And so we've been meeting with the current employees of the finance department, finance and payroll and HR. We've also had some conversations with the last director of finance that was a permanent director of finance here to understand a little bit more about system access and controls, et cetera. And we're using this information, as I said, this is our foundational work that'll help us set the stage for the policies that we need to craft for your review. And that's really that rebuilding phase that we're going to get to and present to the board in a few months. But as we're going through, and one of the things that we were talking with the county administrator about and the interim director of finance is there is as you all likely remember from the forensic audit, there's a pretty big gap in institutional knowledge internally. When you have people in positions of leadership and they've been here a long time, there's a lot of institutional knowledge that's held. When those people leave, you start to realize what isn't transferred to the team. What do they not know? What do they not understand? And you know, the county has had a few interim directors over the last few months, and that causes some instability. And it's really hard for you to develop that institutional knowledge. And so training and professional development is something that you all have talked about in your budget process. It's something that's very important to the county administrator. And it's really imperative, quite frankly, to rebuild this finance department and the functions moving forward and remedy what was found in the forensic audit. And so while we called it an urgent actions needed now, it's really because of the end of the fiscal year's coming. And when we were talking to the team and realizing the gap of knowledge just to try to close the fiscal year, we brought this forward and we talked with the county leadership about the team's lack of knowledge and understanding of how Munis, your financial system, actually works. So they're very good at their tasks, right? You know, when you have people working in positions, they're really good. They know their job. What they don't understand is the totality of the job. That's really the director of finance's role. And so what we put forward as requested by county leadership is we can help with that, but that's not part of the scope of our work right now. But we do have expertise in training and development and understanding of how Munis works. But this needs to be elevated because you're going to have a challenge closing your fiscal year. What you may not know is fiscal 25 was almost a year ago. That year is not yet closed. It's my understanding, unless Mark, it is not yet closed? Okay. And there is a lack of knowledge and understanding of how to do that because that was held by the last prior director of finance when they were here in a permanent capacity. So you still have fiscal 25 open. That was a year ago. So you've been working in fiscal 26. One of the issues with the financial system that you have, which is Munis, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, you cannot have 3 fiscal years open and active at any given time. And so, as you all know, in 2 weeks, the part of the reason we're here tonight is in 2 weeks, you have a new fiscal year coming. And you will not be able to put that into the system until you close fiscal 25. And so the sense of urgency is that you all need the support and the help to be able to close fiscal 25, understand what the system is and isn't configured to do, which is something that the team right now doesn't have that knowledge. And so tonight we wanted to kind of give you a status update, bring you along with our work, but also recognize that there's additional support that's needed in order for the county's financial situation to be stabilized. And right now, the most important thing is the end of the year, the fiscal year end close process, particularly because it's almost as if time stood still when you look at the system from when the last permanent director of finance was here. And so we want to help remediate that. And this is a work order that we've put forward to assist with that effort. And I believe the finance committee had talked about this Monday night. But just for the community, I wanted to make sure people understood when I use these words, Tyler Munis, what does that mean? It is the financial system of the county. It's the system of record that's used for the county's internal financials, primarily used for payroll, accounting, general ledger, and tax billing. And I believe the system, you know, we've heard this. I don't actually have the contract with Munis. We're working through trying to obtain that so we understand a little bit more about the system and what you all have contracted Munis and their system for. But you've used it for about 20 years, and it's a really robust system. I don't know the numbers. I actually tried to Google to see if Tyler Munis put this out and how many Virginia localities use them now. But it's a lot. 2 of the last communities that I was either the director of finance in or the budget director in, we use Tyler Munis. So it's out there. However, Berkeley Group we're agnostic. We don't care what system you use. We will help you if you need that help. You happen to use Tyler Munis, and we have the skills and ability to help you there. But this system can also be used for an a complete enterprise. It's called an ERP system. You can use it for everything from hiring a person to paying them, the whole process, from procuring an item through and identifying the need in the budget process to actually paying the vendor. It can be used for that whole process. Right now, the county's not doing that. County is not maximizing the system that you have in order to create more efficiencies internally. We also can help with that, and we're planning to make recommendations. But that's another phase. That's like in the future when we're gonna be a much more lean, mean Halifax County. Right now, we're really focused on stabilizing, and so the effort that we're doing right now, as I mentioned before, is focusing on understanding all the work internal in finance, addressing the forensic audit concerns, and making sure that the team knows how to do their job within the system of record that you currently have. And so with that being said, that is the most information I have at the moment in terms of what how to bring the board along with this process, what we're doing, and how we're going to help get you on the right path in the future, which is really important to all of us because we're all public servants at heart. Every one of us at Berkeley Group are prior. Some people say recovering. I don't like that, but we're prior city county professionals. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at the moment. But the next steps really is for the county administrator to engage us or someone else. We don't mind, but we're ready and prepared to help with the munis training and understanding of what the system can do, and doing that right now to help you with your fiscal year end challenges of closing the fiscal year end. And then I've listed out there some priorities for the county finance team, because it's a partnership. We have to do this together. There's a lot of work to do. And like I said, a lot of institutional knowledge that is no longer available to you all. So we're recreating it. And we're doing that in a sustainable way. So in the future, when a new director of finance is hired, that person can sit in the seat and understand what the landscape of their job functions actually are, and they don't have to try to figure it out. And so those, you'll see there are the 4 priorities for the county finance team that we will be helping support them. And then, as I mentioned, we'll come back in the fall and provide you with a full list of policies for your consideration and approval, and really the work that we did and where we are with respect to remediating the forensic audit findings. So with that, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Yes, please.
The immediate issue is closing out 24-25.
Yeah.
If we don't, what happens?
Yeah. So what happens is you are not able to open up the budget of fiscal 27, which is the one you all just adopted. So what that does, it means you can't spend against fiscal 27. So it keeps 26 open as your active fiscal year, because we can't go into a new year. So we need to close 25, which we can do in the next couple of weeks. We can get that done, because we don't want that to happen, because then it's even then it's even harder to unravel the transactions that are going to occur, because they'll be posted to the wrong fiscal year. So it just continues to make the problem worse.
I was assuming and hoping that you would be able to close it out in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question, if I heard you correctly, you have quite a bit of munis experience?
My team does, yes. And me, when you're the leader, you have team people who bring you reports and amazing, but we have the expertise in-house. Yes. Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. And that we will be bringing a person completely dedicated to Halifax. They will be doing your IT policies as well. And so it'll be IT policies, ERP kind of, I call it an audit, and I know that word can be a negative thing. That's not what it is. It's really trying to understand what you have procured. What is your system? What have you bought already? What are you not using? What can we use more effectively? That kind of audit landscape. Kind of an environmental skim of your system, and then they'll be doing the training as well with a team to try to make sure that we can get everything completed timely, because we have a sense of urgency at the moment. That answer your question? Okay.
I have to commend you on your euphemistic way of explaining that we have a mess.
I second that.
Okay? I'd like to commend you on that.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna get into any discussion for to cause any further delay because we do have to go on,
Yeah.
but we have a mess. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
We've had the system for 20 years. You said it.
Mhm.
You speak for yourself. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. You're welcome.
I have nothing else.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again in a few months.
Our next item will be a motion to enter into closed session.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman. Second. Closed session, closed session 2.2-3711 to discuss personnel matters.
It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and seconded by Supervisor Roll to enter into closed session pursuant to Virginia Code 2-2-3711, subsection A1, personnel. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Okay, we'll enter into closed session.
We're gonna go now.
Well, I'll say yes. I know we got a small crowd.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah,
You tell them they.
yeah.
Are we gonna say yes?
Huh?
You tell them they stay here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If y'all care to stay, hey,
You can stay.
you can stay.
Recording stopped.
Recording in progress.
Be glad to entertain a motion to adopt resolution for certification of closed session.
So moved.
Second. Okay, it's been, motioned by Supervisor Claiborne and seconded by Supervisor Oaks to, for certification of closed session. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Riddle, Chair Roller,
Yes?
Supervisor Oaks.
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smart,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson,
Yes.
Supervisor McDowell, Supervisor Claiborne.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. Action resulting from closed session. There is no action resulting from closed session. We have to entertain a motion for the Board of Supervisors to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, properly motioned by Supervisor Claiborne, second by Vice Chair Smart to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, meeting adjourned.
All right.